Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the Poorly Played stream. Nothing can stop us. Rosetta. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining us here. It's Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We're a little late, Brian. We did run a little late. Brian, my King Lord, always with me. Thank you for being here, Brian.
Welcome to the PPS.
Welcome. You know what? In an effort to bring comfort back into my life in a otherwise very chaotic scene,
yes,
I picked up Metal Gear Solid Survive. Once again, is it actually Solid? No, it's just Metal Gear Survive, excuse me.
Yeah.
I knew I missaid it as soon as it came out.
Damn it.
You gotta be careful what you say nowadays.
You do.
You can't
really
mistitle Survive with Solid. It's not in there. It's not part of the core Kojima code.
Nope.
Brian, I know he's dropping that Discord link. We've got the Discord for you today, and I want to get to as many callers as I can.
Yes.
And I want us to have some chats just about anything you want. If you don't want to talk what's going on, if you do want to talk what's going on obviously for posterity is that we are in the first week of June. Summer is like just about to get started.
Oh, yeah.
And the United States is on fire, and protesting and the accompanying other activities, as in police brutality and riots, are spread across the country. Everyone's got their eyes on this issue, on the whole Black Lives Matter issue. So call in, and let's talk about what's going on in really the entire world. I'm seeing like protests in other countries. I didn't
know.
know.
Dude, all over, yeah.
I've been very focused on like what's going on in San Diego because there is shit going on. But then when I pull back and look, it's like, oh man, the crowds in not only London and where was the other one?
Australia.
I saw it was fucking huge. Oh, okay, Australia. I don't know if I even saw that
Canada.
one. It was like was it Russia or something?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's all over, man. It's all over the world.
It's all over. So the Discord link is there.
Italy.
It's there for you to talk to us. And we ain't going to figure out shit tonight. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to just be open and have a discussion, I think.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing we can do right now. Help educate some people.
Yeah. It's weird thinking about this shit for the first time in so fucking long, Brian.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting revisiting last couple weeks. I played a hardcore set list, and I played tons of 90s hardcore that I just fucking fell in love with in high school. And that was that scene that really kind of taught me at first about racism. Because that whole hardcore brotherhood had a very strong, not just non-racist, but anti-racist message.
Yeah.
And it was very, I guess the hardcore scene and the venues that I went to were very involved in, what do you call it? When you protest. Activism.
Yeah.
Duh. Can't think of the thing. So, it's been out of my life for so long, and I played all that music, and it got me thinking about all of those feelings from back then again, and how, it's just been in the back of my head about how the world works until, wow, I'm fucking seeing it all over again in ways that are blowing my fucking mind. Surprising me where I thought I knew how the shit was going.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to I don't know. I'm at a loss for words half the time.
Yeah. It's pretty overwhelming, honestly. Like
it is.
I point back to over and over the Watchmen limited series that was released on HBO at the end of last year.
What a theme
what
in
a
there.
poignant show, and I will repeat it over and over and over because it starts with Black Wall Street, which I didn't recognize how crazy that was. I'm like, oh, this is just an HBO like hyper-violent thing. And I looked it up, and it's like, no, they just showed what happened, and it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that's how this show starts. And now, especially, like, I don't want to give too much away, but if you haven't, just came out on Blu-ray, or if you just got HBO,
sick.
Please watch that. That's a great way to get it kind of educated on what the issue is right now.
In the fictional world.
In a fictional world, which, again, like Alan Moore, really just mirrors the real world. It's just some things are changed, but it's really meant to be,
Whoopsie. It's the
a
American
reflection of where America is.
It's the American system.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that show. I don't know if I'm ready to watch it again, though. I mean,
it just came out.
I'm taking a conscious effort now in the last 2 days, I think yesterday and today, to like, I gotta pull off Instagram and Twitter because I'm so fucking depressed, man.
Yeah.
And it's so negative. It's evilness.
Yeah.
In my feed, it's fucking hate crimes, and just sheer fascism.
Yeah.
It's
no,
fucking.
It is.
And I'm like,
It is.
I was just crate digging for all these old sets that I was doing and going through listening to all this old hardcore music, and it was like going through all this old punk music too that I was listening to. It's like, oh, the message hasn't fucking changed from the late 90s to then the fucking 80s to then when I did the blackout thing on Instagram, I did it on my story, which then later on in the afternoon I'm so confused because I'm fucking hearing that's like a 4chan operate, like a special 4chan operative set that up to fucking hazy the waters or something. I don't know what the fuck is going on
it's
anymore.
Just some bullshit.
I'm so fucking happy.
No, I'm so fucking pissed.
Wrong one.
I gotta maintain a positive affirmation. Though. I can't get too down in the dumps.
No.
But no. Then I was researching like old speeches of Dr. King and Malcolm X, Because honestly, you know, like, they don't teach that shit to you in high school. They teach you
No.
King stuff. We didn't get any Malcolm X. That shit's too extreme for fucking public high school in San Diego, I think.
Yeah.
But I was listening to all that stuff, and it's like, oh, it's also been the way since the 70s and 60s and the 50s. I mean,
It's just been that way.
yeah, wake the fuck up.
Yep.
But
We as Californians happen to live, you know, in a place, especially San Diego.
on a cool coast.
Yeah, with a lot of, you know, a lot of people, a lot of diversity, a lot of different backgrounds. So, you know, maybe we're not as exposed to it as some of the other parts of the world, but like, yeah,
Definitely not.
or even some of the other parts of the U.S. So,
Well, you hear about shit, but, you know, so a lot of it you don't.
yeah,
Like, a lot of those stories don't make, you know, we know who George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, you know, Alfred Alongo, and like some of these names who are in the news right now, but, you know, you don't hear about half the shit. It's just not reported.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. You just, yeah.
Uh,
So you got to stay vigilant. You got to use social media.
social media is definitely being used right now.
Yeah. If you see shit that ain't right, document it, get a camera on it, and make sure people are held accountable.
But back to
Accountability.
the original thing, and why I gotta fucking pull back and kind of stay positive sometimes is like, it's fucking draining me like a vampire. The shit I'm seeing like all day and all night.
Yeah.
It's fucking, but it's hard not to watch if it's happening in your backyard, right?
Yeah,
So it's been a balance to try to check shit out.
it is.
But I you know, I don't know what the fuck is going on with all the angles being played now, because so many people are taking, what is it? They're taking advantage of the situation that's
Yeah.
building, and they're using the destabilized areas for their own, you know, nefarious shit.
Well, yeah.
But that sounds so conspiracy theory nutso, but it's like, nah.
No, it's just that there's a criminal underworld of every culture,
This
of
is
every
just,
city.
This is just
It's kind of what Blue Velvet is about.
Yeah, but it's a criminal hiding in the cape of the law enforcement.
I know.
And the city officials.
I know.
And the fucking president. It's
Yeah,
like,
and then that's what Dark Knight Rises is
oh
about.
my god. Well, we can't compare everything to film. I don't want to just say get out and Voldemort's bad and
No, exactly. But
protest.
I think they're more artistic representations of a bigger point that might help some people have a softer explanation to what's
Well,
going
there's no,
on.
yeah. I don't think the soft explanation's needed anymore now.
Yeah.
Because everyone, I mean, even like the generation above us, like our parents and our grandparents, are like, they're seeing a slightly distorted lens through only an edited news feed.
Yeah.
But they're still seeing. No one's hiding the shit
Yeah.
anymore. Like, they can't.
They can't.
Everyone's got the camera out. Everything's being documented.
Exactly.
I worry for everyone documenting, because I'm thinking, like, is some database being built for all the dissent that's being collectively logged in people's social media?
Yeah.
For future, you know, that's definitely some dystopian shit.
Definitely.
But if you're out there stirring dissent, is Big Brother watching and going, yeah, we'll keep our eye on this one. Oh yeah, these blue check marks that keep inciting some shit
Yeah.
here. Yeah, let's put their little names down on a list. Like, that's where I would worry.
Yeah.
I got yeah. I got no idea. I got no idea what's going on. But maybe some of the Discord callers do, so they can call in, they can talk to us.
Yeah. Be vigilant.
I gotta give.
All right.
What does that actually mean? Because I be vigilant.
Vigilant?
Like, don't give up.
Like, it's keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties.
That's exactly what you need to do,
yeah.
Brian.
That's
Keep watch for dangerous and possible danger. Keep watch for possible danger or difficulties. Let me take that again. One more time, Brian. Keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. I'll get it eventually. Keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Oh my God.
That is vigilance.
That is
and that's
vigilance.
That's a great thing
Yeah.
that you can do.
Yeah. Fight injustice. Because that's what's happening now. It's injustice.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't don't give up until the change is made.
Yeah.
This isn't a waning tide that's going to rush out. There are people who are suffering. There are people who are scared to be alive in this country.
I know.
So, if you have the ability to do something about it, do something about it. Even if you don't know how, like, I just posted links to resources, just educating yourself, learning.
Well, I mean, certainly educating yourself is like unavoidable because it's in front of everyone's fucking face. Now you can take the opinions of the text that come with the videos, but just watch what's going on. It's all there. It's all there in 1080 fucking p, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you
360 coverage.
If you don't want to follow the message attached to those video clips on social media, at least watch what's happening and you can see for yourself. The film isn't being doctored, you know. Maybe some of the stuff on the news cuts away a little close. Yikes.
But yeah, maybe now's the time for you to see some things.
What's the excuse there?
Hard.
What's the excuse there for the news? In my rational mind, I'm thinking like, all right, we got to sell soap because we're beholden to an advertiser. So let's cut away before the SUV runs people over with the barricade. Because that's too graphic to show at 5 o'clock? I don't know.
It's like...
who still just watches the news?
Well, so there's that. It's the older generation still watch the news.
God.
And then, you know, staying educated, you need to still see how media is being covered because that's how people... There's a great amount of people who ingest their media that way only through cable providers.
I mean,
or that's broadcast most of the time.
And I can only speak to where I was like hardcore glued to what was happening in La Mesa. And it's like the media was being targeted just as everyone else in the citizenry was. Yeah. It was, there's plenty of that video out of, you know, pepper balls straight down the barrel of a paintball gun coming out of cameraman's lens and all kinds of that shit where they're just, you know, press isn't a credential anymore, I don't think.
No. I mean, anybody can be press.
You know how you look like press if you have like the best gas mask. That's how it fucking seems to be.
If you got a good-looking camera and you know what, and you look like you know what you're doing.
If there's 3 people in your crew wearing some kind of like safety gear that looks way higher tech than everyone else's, it's like, oh, that's probably some press. Yeah. But they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit.
They don't want
at everyone.
They don't want that press there.
Mm-mm.
They want they want the state press.
Exactly. They want the controlled media message from broadcast TV. This was gonna be my last mission. So yeah,
I almost feel the
be vigilant.
Be vigilant, and yeah, it's a scary time for everyone.
Yeah.
Not most importantly, you know, it's a scary time for black people. It has been.
Yeah.
And that's the real thing, like, fuck, man. I just can't believe we're here. Like, you had that mask shit in Santee.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the dude wore the KKK hood, and it's like, this is insane. This has got to be one local yokel. And it's like, nah, we're seeing more of this shit come out.
Yeah.
In other anti-protester videos where people are showing up because now the fervor's mixed and there's this disruptive ground now where everyone from every angle is coming in to get a piece. I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Like how bad it's gonna keep getting. That's what I'm worried. I'm kind of worried about this weekend.
Yeah, I know. I hope things stay peaceful from the protesters' side because nothing makes you look worse than attacking people who aren't doing anything.
I can't even play the game. I have to talk about this.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, seriously.
And the fact that is what it has been for the most part, and then there are those, you know, underbelly people who are coming in and looting and doing, you know, shit that's the same tactics that we use to undermine governments when we go abroad. You know, like we're using, and people know this now, military tactics against our own people, and that's not what America's about.
It certainly hasn't been. Well, it certainly has been for black people in America, but now and that's the thing. Like, even speaking on this, I don't want to detract from the real issue here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much coming out now, but the real issue is these senseless killings of unarmed African American people in, you know, this country, and now you're seeing more light being shed on like we're all fucking, under the thumb of this gang.
Yeah. Yeah. They're thugs.
I want to play. I can voice how I feel, I think, a little better through music. So I'll play some tracks that I've selected. We opened with a fun one from Nine Inch Nails, but I've definitely got a hardcore track from Earth Crisis and a punk song from the Dead Kennedys, of which I've been playing on my other streams lately.
Hell yeah.
And I'm sorry that my pasty ass doesn't know any black artists. I'm apologizing now for
Play some Bad Brains.
This is White Guilt. Oh yeah, I do have Bad Brains I can play, but these are the ones I picked. I don't know. My punk ass, I'm just fucking trying, Brian.
Hey,
but we're
good.
gonna get some callers into the Discord. I see one right now.
You want to pull them in?
Let's pull them in before.
All right, we got Deadly Spooky.
Deadly Spooky.
What up, Deadly Spooky?
What up?
Hello, boys.
Hello. Would you like to destabilize my stream?
I'm not sure if I know how to do that, actually.
Oh God.
Good.
Yeah. You have a moral conscience, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up even
Thanks
more.
for calling in. We're here. We got the real chat, IRL. We've got the wheel to spin later. I'm supposed to be playing this Metal Gear game, but so far I've only healed my people. I'm going to go out for supplies. But how you doing, man? Amidst the chaos.
Amidst the chaos. I'm doing okay. I've been staying home, watching the chaos from inside.
We're still on, lockdown.
Yeah,
yeah.
And where I'm at now, there's like an extra added curfew, which is like, oh, this is fucking great.
Oh yeah, we're technically not supposed to be here after the show.
After we started, I mean, I drove home from the podcast like the long way because like I don't.
Yeah, I was worried too.
I just don't know.
I just wanted to get
I
out
don't
of
know
La
what the
Mesa,
fuck's-
so I dumped out real fast.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going on right now,
Yeah.
or what's
Yeah,
going
and
to continue to go on.
There's no sure way of knowing when it's curfew or not curfew,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think. I think the people in charge are playing fast and loose with the curfew too. It seems like depends on who you are. You can stay out late and
Oh yeah. I mean.
what
the same-
area. Yeah,
Same standard.
we're not getting any better. We're just showing our true colors. It seems like as the
Is there a box
Time
in that
goes
tower
on.
behind you?
a boss.
Yeah, and
Look
I,
up.
I don't want to get
no,
controversial, but I think...
On the
oh,
right.
sorry, Brian.
No,
Oh.
it's don't worry. And hey man, I don't even think it's controversial. We're all just talking about dealing with all of the shit. And I'm probably saying shit that's fucking wrong right now. And don't get me wrong. You can't make everyone fucking happy with your opinions. And I think you should just tell us whatever, man. Don't worry about being
Yeah, so I think the curfew set is actually a form of oppression and a way for the cops to have a right, quote unquote, to arrest anyone.
For
that
sure.
they'll-
Yep.
You're I think you're right on the money, dude. I don't think that's controversial to say at all, like I definitely can see like both sides of a city on fire.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the law enforcement seems to be only aiding fire departments and putting fires out. And I just nothing I do or nothing I say is gonna make this fucking go away tonight.
Yeah.
It's
not gonna go away tonight. It's
all
gonna
I
take
can
a
do
lot
is
of time.
all I can do is try to understand why it's happening and why America made their own bed and now they got to fucking lie in it.
Exactly.
Why this is happening is because of the past and no change up until now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would agree with you that a curfew is definitely a form of oppression. By definition, you're oppressing the right for people to have freedom outside of their home. Like, what about homeless people?
Yeah. Well, they're not supposed to be out on the street anyway.
Well, I mean, and how many homeless people of color are out on the street in San Diego right now past 7? Like,
Yep.
what do you do?
Yeah. Exactly. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's what you said, Deadly Spooky. It's that. It's them trying to sign some executive order, like limiting the ability of social media companies to like stop the tweets or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you
God,
know,
I
like,
just
Yeah.
like there's definitely like
The social media companies.
I don't want to incite any sort of craziness. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't ever want to propagate something that I don't know, because that's uneducated and it's wrong.
Definitely.
But what I do know is that I did pay attention in history class, and I did always wonder, what did it look like in Germany when the fascists took over there?
It's by the books, man.
And boy, does this look by the books the exact fucking same.
That's why.
So don't get the wool pulled over your eyes, guys.
That's really why, after we had shit like Patriot Act, and after we had shit that came in, legislation after 9/11 to tighten down more freedoms, you know, just take an inch every couple of years, and then you end up in some fucking hellscape dystopia.
Yeah, dude, and I have watched videos of police officers in riot gear taking down medical tents.
Yeah.
With water, dumping them out,
which is
slashing the bottles.
What, isn't that considered a fucking war crime?
I mean, yeah.
You're
not supposed to use tear gas on people.
If you were to do that in a foreign war, that would be against NATO regulations, attacking medical supplies and aid for your enemy. But you know, there's no. NATO's a fucking joke. Like, there's no rules in war. All these warlords forever have been breaking the fucking Geneva Conventions.
Because what they do is they destabilize the people so that they create the crimes, and then it looks like hands off the wheel. Oh,
they don't have accountability.
The people there are savages. Oh, the people there tore themselves apart. Well, how about we say we're not going to let us tear ourselves apart, and we're going to stand together, and we're going to say no. And we're going to support each other and tell them we're holding you accountable because this doesn't work, and we clearly don't want this system.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, that's when the shit's gonna happen. We can't let it happen. That's why I choose the word vigilant. Oh, and I repeat it over and over because I want people to internalize what that means and really think about.
That's why I wanted you to get that definition out, because my dumbass honestly didn't fucking know. And then also, I think it's important to really break down some stuff, and you know, it's fucking knowledge is power, man.
Yeah, it's being kind, it's being careful.
The more you know, the less you can do wrong, and everyone does a little wrong. Like, I don't know, Deadly Spooky. You know, you were worried about saying something controversial, but I don't think that's controversial at all, man.
Well, you know, it's also to Garrett being white. I feel like
I want to bring that up. I wanted to.
We had to tread on eggshells right now.
Definitely. Well, and I don't know if we have to. I think it's a responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
I think listening instead of speaking right now, which is a weird fucking thing to say as I'm talking into a microphone on a show.
Yeah.
That I had to put on the day after a media silence day. It's a little odd, but yeah, I think we are kind of like you said, walking on eggshells. I know I was scared. I got off the podcast on Sunday, and I was like, "Fuck, man! I think I sounded too much like I give a shit about the banks and the grocery store down the street of me lighting on fire," and I didn't want to come off that way, like you know, because you see a lot of fucking calling out now.
Yeah.
On social media and across,
which doesn't help.
You have, well, no, it doesn't help, because you have people trying to call people out for not doing enough or doing too much or doing it for the wrong reasons or whatever. So my mind went like, oh fuck, did I sound like I care about like the bank and the grocery store? Like, fuck no, the bank is insured and the police officer or the police station's insured. I don't give two fucks about the bank burning down or the grocery store. The grocery store sucks because that community is not an all-white community, and I'm speaking specifically about the city I live in, La Mesa.
Very diverse here.
Very diverse in that part of town that feeds that grocery store that feeds that part of town, and then all the small businesses up and down the street. From personal experience, people I know that own those, not all white businesses up and down that nearby area, and
no.
Yeah,
by any means.
But then again, you know, like that's what I talked about on the podcast, you know, and then we moved on, and I felt like, oh fuck, man, I don't want to sound like all I care about is like they burned the bank down.
Nah, you didn't sound that way at all.
Like, because it's not about that.
No, you didn't.
Like,
No, it was more that it hit so close to home. You almost were like, I definitely can't ignore it anymore. You know?
And the time before where I paid the most attention was when it was in El Cajon.
Yeah.
And it was equally that close to home.
Yeah.
Literally the same, probably amount of mileage away from our studio now to the
Old
La
studio,
Mesa thing. It's the same from El Cajon to the old studio, and yeah, it's weird when it's like, okay, this really is the community that came out during the day, and then, you know, what happened that night. Looking at all the different live feeds was really just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Because you see what the news is putting out, you see what independent people are putting out on their TikToks, for Christ's sake,
Yeah.
or people in the front lines on Instagram and stuff. You get every angle of it, and
Yeah.
dude,
You're getting every angle of it.
It's
So
just
watch
blowing
it.
my fucking mind.
It's going to shake up the way that you feel. It's gonna make you uncomfortable.
But yeah.
I want you to watch it. Whoever you are, if you haven't watched any of these videos, watch these videos. Watch what's going on out there. Watch what set this all off. Watch the body cam and the phone footage of George Floyd literally being killed. Because when you see that and you think that that person has a family that no longer has him in their life, and you watch it happen over 9 minutes from the multiple angles of the store across the street and everything, and at no point did that guy ever try to resist, you will get upset.
He was begging for his life. The bystanders were begging for his life. It was ridiculous.
I mean,
and all four of those motherfuckers didn't do a goddamn thing.
We are rightfully as outraged as we need to be, but definitely need to be outraged more, because it needs, again, don't stop until the change is made, because this kind of behavior is not American.
Well,
this is not what America is meant.
This can't go unchecked.
Yeah.
Man.
This isn't what America really is about. That's not it.
It's not going unchecked now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I want to have faith that, like, all right, this is going to, well, it has to. This is so big, it has to invoke some change.
Yep.
Some change. It's not going to be enough.
No.
If we're going by the way America functions. You know, unless the people dictate, you know, who knows what can happen. People are fucking screaming revolution on social media, man, and in the streets,
and pushing for it. And I haven't seen something this.
You got fucking blue check marks pushing for it, and it's like, I can see administrations going, all right, let's get a treason list up, let's round some fools up, and you know, curb this dissent, aka China style. I mean, this shit's been going on in Hong Kong all last year, and I paid as close attention to it as I could from, you know, over here, but it's the same fucking thing. It's not just over here, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I say it's more insane over there. They're like using cocktail Molotovs all over the place.
Yeah.
But two things real quick. I'm sorry, Garrett.
Yeah. No, it's the American way to racially profile and go against a specific race, but China's doing it to themselves, man.
It's the same, dude. It's just fucking same. It's excessive.
Yeah.
Well, America and all of these countries, we've been living in excess for far too long. We've been like seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, and it's not the same.
What do they call?
For everyone
What do they call the American military, man? The World Police.
The World Police.
It's the same.
What does that sound like to you? Anyway, well, what were you gonna say, Deadly Spooky?
Two things real quick. Back to one thing. Back to the police is, it's fucked up. They use rubber bullets because people don't realize that those guns, they're meant to disperse a crowd. They're long range weapons. These motherfuckers are using these rubber bullets close range. And when you get hit by a rubber bullet like that, I've seen a video where some guy's leg was like bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
And you don't see these cops carrying one single bit.
I'm seeing a lot of point blank damage, not only on social media, but out of the live streams in my backyard in La Mesa. There was a lot of like blunt injury, blood gushing out of these wounds because they're being shot. They're shooting people in the fucking eyes and in the face.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
if you are aiming the gun, you're looking down the sights, you're targeting that body part.
Yes.
That's trained.
They're trained.
I don't know how the protesters are not wearing eye protection, man. I just see that. And
especially with the tear gas.
I see all the video, and I'm like, well, God, I'd get a respirator out for that, man.
I think they are. I think some of them are. But then again, it's like people are out there peacefully protesting, and then they're getting lumped in or somehow, you know, involved in the looters because they don't want the demonstration.
See, and I get it.
there.
Like, as a peaceful protester, I wouldn't want to show up in a bunch of fucking gear because I look like oh, I'm ready to fight. I've got the fucking helmet on. I've got the fucking mask for your gas, and I've got gloves, and that I feel like that looks like I'm a fucking Antifa dude or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, again, I think the best thing that we can do is keep turning the scope back onto the positive, the protesters that are doing it peaceful, the messages, being organized, taking a second to breathe, trying to educate each other, trying to not get overstressed because we are all on edge right now. We've all been dealing with the pandemic. We're all cooped up in our houses, not knowing what's going to be going on. On top of that, now we're dealing with these things in the streets that are literally affecting the lives of everybody in America. So we need to remember that, like, it's not about the riots, it's about the protests. It's about why it's making us this angry, why we're feeling like we have to shout at the top of our lungs and have these demonstrations. And we need to remember that framing when we're looking at these subjects, not look at the protesters, the byproduct of people who will always take advantage of the situation.
It's hard not to look at the protests, though, because it's almost like this fucking addictive, exciting, murder porn going on 24/7 on your live, from multiple angles.
Yeah.
And the human condition is to glorify that as like almost entertainment.
Well,
are you conditioned to that violence?
So that's what desensitization is. From watching it in movies over and over and over, it doesn't look that different to you now. Honestly, movies aggrandize the violence that actually happens. Violence in real life is so much less, so
faster,
much whimpering,
quieter,
so much more. Again, watch the video of a man being killed for 9 minutes.
I've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah, if you've already seen it,
but it gets to a point where it's like, God.
But like
I don't
when you see it and you watch that, there's no big flash, there's no thing like you're used to seeing in a movie or a TV show where there's this like, jittering of the body and this like pageantry to it. No, that's theatrics. That's fucking media.
Yeah,
it's
It's
skewed.
Hollywood.
This is real. This is what happened. Watch it happen. It doesn't look like that big of a deal, but
look at
what it caused.
A lot of young people are seeing this thing for the first time, and they're being kind of tuned in on the way the world works, like I was back in high school when I was looking at like crazy videos online. We've seen that shit. That's kind of gone for that generation. So this is the first time they're seeing it.
Well, I grew up in '92, so that was when the LA riots happened.
Okay.
So this is the first time me experiencing a big fucking riot like this. So I've always heard about the LA riots, but like we're living it again.
I remember them.
Yeah.
I was very young. I didn't really quite comprehend what was going on. I just knew in my head. I thought, I'm happy this isn't here. Because again,
we were kids.
We were kids, but I grew up in America, but I lived in Lebanon for like at least 2 years.
Yeah.
And that was in the middle of a war until like 92 or 93 or whatever. So the last thing I want is having the fucking same thing that my family uprooted their entire lives to get away from, to turn around and happen.
Yeah. Same story. It's a different, different,
like that's not what we came to make ourselves better.
Because where do you go?
Them
like
better for.
We've got to fix it. Because where the fuck are we going? We're not leaving. There's nowhere to go. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fucking
everywhere.
where.
We need to change the way that we look at ourselves.
You guys left Lebanon to get away from it.
Yeah.
But then you came here and surprise.
Here it is. Over there, it's religious. Over there, it's Christian and Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Like Holy Land and all this stuff. But it's the same sort of fight. And even them, at the end of last year, had a huge social revolution, which is still going on, by the way, because of the exact same issues here. It's not a race issue. It's that
the oppression of
an oppressing class.
Yeah.
There's a money wealthy class that is dictating
a
different set of rights.
Yeah, I see a lot of posts and stuff that are kind of showcasing of what's going on right now. Like, this has evolved and shed light on it. The media trying to pose it as a race war when it's a class war.
Yeah, because, again, they're deflecting. They're deflecting what the issue is so that it looks like it's something else, so that the two sides fight each other. Don't fight each other.
Yeah, they want
Don't fight each other.
the they, but really, I mean, there's so many theys. Like I was talking about the crazy shit, you know, like you've got 4chan apparently on Facebook groups starting a protest here.
Yeah.
And then across the street, it's a counter protest to that because they just want to cause chaos. And I'm hearing about that happening for this weekend in East County, which is our backyard.
Yeah, and that's why, again, when you're out there, it's like, try to remain calm. Remember, it's peaceful. Remember that there's a message behind it, not just the emotion. The emotion is what drove us to get out there and say it loud.
Almost too, like we gotta vet these organized meetups.
Yes.
And
vet any donations that people are asking you to make.
Shit. Yeah, that's the big thing too. You know, what? Yeah, vet everything.
Yeah.
But there's so much.
Exactly. We can't, and that's the point. Is that now I think we're also realizing that we can't be as blissfully ignorant as we used to be to shit. We have to be more aware. We're gonna have people trying to infiltrate our way of thinking by outraging us, by manipulating our thoughts, by using our fears against us, and they have the ability to because of this. But we have the ability to hold them accountable because of this as well. So let's hold these guys accountable. Let's record everything that we see that's injustice. Make sure that you're getting as much as you can. Try to keep a safe distance and keep yourself safe. Be calm, but make sure I have a friend who's out there every day protesting and demonstrating, and I'm happy he can do that because I can't anymore.
Yeah.
And like seeing what's going on out there where everybody is peaceful, everybody is just pushing their message, and that is the main point. If people remember the message and they push the message will be heard. But if you get distracted, if you let them change your focus, that's when it fizzles away, and that's what they want. And it's not a conspiracy group. It's anybody who doesn't want it changed.
Yeah, well, it's they because there's multiple
Oh yeah.
attacks coming in to take advantage of this situation.
Yeah.
There's outcry from a murder, and now there's multiple glommers and piling on and trying to just take advantage of the situation. And it's like a fucking Kojima game.
It is. It's Metal Gear 2, dude.
Dude, it's fucking.
I think it's going to be the actual purge pretty soon.
No,
I wonder. I
don't think so.
You know, I see people out. Well, I see protesters like playing music, and like I saw a rock band in the back from Pico Rivera playing like punk grindcore and like crust punk music for the riots or for the for the protests.
What the fuck?
You see, we got to be careful what we say, like you said. But that music. Now I've lost my fucking train of thought.
The purge music?
I'm so worried. Oh yeah, I wonder if anyone is out there on loudspeakers just playing that.
The annual purge has begun.
Yeah.
All unlawful. Yeah, I love it. But I say that in a joking way, Brian. But like, I don't, like you guys said, I don't see this ending anytime soon. I don't see how they're gonna fix it. I don't see what's gonna happen. So honestly, I feel like maybe it could happen because we have to fix it. But I don't have an answer, and I don't think anyone does, unfortunately.
And it truly is a we. Like you can. This is so fucking nuanced. You can have more than one feeling about it. I know I do. I got all kinds of mixed fucking feelings.
Yeah.
You can go protest during the day, and then you can go help protect a local business or a friend's local business at night. You can donate. You can educate yourself. There's like, people are definitely in this mode where like they're seeing this shit, and there's also people who are seeing the shit, unfortunately, and they're like, yeah, good.
Yeah, there are opportunistic people who are uneducated, who are not going to make the right decisions because they don't know any better.
True. And there's true racists which are unsavable fucking people in this case.
But hopefully
But then there's also people who are just fucking, and I would even consider myself quite the nihilist, but at a certain point you got to go like, oh fuck, man. Yeah. Like I have some compassion here. I'm a human being.
Yeah. and they're trying to distract us the same way they did back in the 60s. Like, hey, weird, all of a sudden we're talking about space exploration again. When was the last time that we had to do that? Oh, the last time we were in a shitty war that we shouldn't have been in. Vietnam, Korea, the Indochina War from the 50s to
Oh, is
the
that
70s.
why people are mad at Musk right now? Because he's going shaking hands with the...
Probably. I mean, like, just the fact that it's the same type of political climate of, like, the unrest between the people against the government. All they did was they got us to ignore the issue back then.
Well, that's just like when they released that alien footage, like official government alien footage. It's like, why
Yeah.
the fuck would they all of a sudden release that? If I feel like there was an underlining something that they wanted to cover up.
So,
it's like,
but-
why all of a sudden after all this time they're gonna validate aliens?
Yep.
And like, Anonymous is dropping all this shit, but it's kind of like, it's Epstein shit, and it's shit we already know. And it's, no, it's I don't know. Is that a distraction? You would think Anonymous would be aligned with what's going on and the civil unrest in the country, but
They're not. They just want to fucking...
I don't know. Fuck.
Hey.
Anonymous, hey, if they are holding people accountable, I mean, I don't know. This is kind of it's the whole Batman thing.
We're still too close. We're still in the fucking thick of it.
Yeah, do we
unfortunately.
let vigilantes do the work for us, or do we hold people accountable to the system that we all bought into, and reform the system so that the people who are misappropriating it,
I mean, how do you
misusing it,
know-
and fucking bastardizing it?
How do you know
are held accountable?
How do you know the vigilantes are doing the right thing as well? You know,
You
like,
never-
these are just people. Everyone is fucking flawed.
Right.
There's got to be a better system.
So that's why I think it's got to be.
It can't be a people fucking make the decision in the end, or I don't know. I don't have the fucking answer.
Exactly. It starts with us realizing that no one has the answer and that we need to sit down and talk and listen and understand each other so that we can know what our needs are, what our
Yeah.
people need. We're a 244-year-old country now, or whatever it is. Like,
That's young.
Like, that's not that old, man. That's pretty young, and
We're not that far away from
We need
slavery.
no.
Yeah, it was only like what 60 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
institutionalized. Yeah.
the clearly visible now that you're so far away from it. Look at foreign wars and our policies there.
Yeah.
With Vietnam on up. I mean,
Listen. That's what we can do now is listen. Like Alistair says in the chat, listen to the people who need the help most.
Yeah.
Where I work, one of the places I work, Valley Farm Market, the owner came in on Monday, gave a great analogy, which I will repeat over and over and over because I think everybody who hears it can benefit from it. He says America is a neighborhood, 10 houses on it. And if there's a fire in one of the houses in the neighborhood, you don't go down and have the fire department pour water on every single house in the neighborhood. You pour water on the house that's on fire. Right now, the black community is on fire, and we need to help them put that fire out. We need
That's beautiful.
yeah, I think it's such
Darren,
a beautiful
what
statement.
That is that Darren?
Derek. Derek Marceau. He put it so well, and I loved that. So that's why I want everybody to hear it as many times as they can. Because we need to have care. We need to help people who don't understand why they have to care. That's the education part. We have to have patience. We have to treat people with care and love and listen to them so that we know what they need. And then I think we'll start to understand.
Yeah.
Because when you don't get it, when you have to tell your friends, hey, any part of American culture that I know, I had to learn firsthand because my family's not from here.
Yeah.
That's not I don't suffer from it. It's just I'm way behind because I don't grow up with Dad listening to John Denver. You know, I don't grow up.
Thank
with,
God.
Right? In some ways, but then on the other hand, when I'm like, whoa, the Pink Floyd is fucking incredible at 22.
Yeah, but that's
You know, like, but it just having that exposure to it for the first time ever.
Sure.
You know,
It's
like
a different experience.
Yeah, I get to actually kind of experience stuff in
first generation.
in a first-hand way,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But then it's also I always felt behind because it's like, oh, there's a lot of like there's a whole history of fucking music. Okay, and that's why I know so much about shit is because I'm like, well, what do I need to know so that I can keep up?
About bullshit, you mean?
Yeah.
Like music and movies.
Movies, anything that people talk about. Like I
The
saw
pop culture of
Yeah.
America is like, what the fuck? Why am I behind on this?
Yeah, because and especially when you're younger, an immigrant kid, you're seeing on TV, you're like, oh, this is just what it is. So you accept that as reality, and you watch it, and you take it. But like,
yeah. A lot of people learn how to speak English from watching television.
That's how my dad learned. I mean,
No
he
shit.
also practiced by speaking, but yeah,
Definitely, definitely.
he had
That's
a
a
job
big part
and,
of it.
and had to apply it every single day, and he's a smart person who knows how to practice, so he got better. But yeah, he didn't come to America with any like, hi, how are you, thank you, yeah, sure. But he speaks better English than I do sometimes. He taught me, like, what was it? What word did he teach me one day? It was like maybe the word minutia or something like that. Or
the minutia.
Ipso facto.
Well, that's definitely Yiddish.
He said ipso facto.
Or something.
And
Ipso
I'm
facto.
like,
That's that's like Latin.
Yeah.
Old school speak.
And it was like, oh, wow, okay. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? He's like, you don't know what it means? I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I'm like 14. But he, like me, is like, oh, he has to catch up. So, trying to keep up with that kind of shit. So,
well,
and that, yeah. Deadly Spooky.
Thank you, Deadly.
Thank you for the call.
Can I say one more?
Yeah.
We
do want to make sure everyone gets time, and we do have two others in the waiting room. No, don't apologize. We kept you on.
I didn't actually call for talk about the looting. I wanted to have a little hearted, a discussion real quick. But I'll keep it brief.
Sure.
It's about the Christmas cast, actually.
I would love to talk about something more lightening than the reality that's I'm trying to escape right now with my toys, video games, and my conversation with friends.
Yeah. Okay, so like everyone, I'm a big fan of the Christmas cast. I think the whole game show thing is incredible. I love it every year.
Cool.
But here's the thing. Dr. Ryan,
he
needs to be taken down.
It's
been too many years.
That fucking
he lost the year before last. Rocco won.
It was rigged.
That
year was rigged.
No, that year he lost fair and square.
Yeah, don't let him convince you.
We let him go back in an extra round because he bitched so much that we thought it'd be fun. But that was it.
Yeah, the good doctor definitely needs to be taken down a peg in the Christmas cast category. I will agree with you there. And
so I have a request.
I fucking tried so hard the last year that we were in the old studio that I hurt myself. I mean, I was fucking hurt that time.
I remember that.
You are the people's champion.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope I did you proud.
So I think Dr. Ryan won fair and square this year, and
it's all up to the thing you choose now, right?
Sort of.
It's the random gift gave him an edge. It was the luck gave him an edge.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a twist on it. So
I have more vitality and strength, but his luck was like fucking through the roof. That attribute.
Boy.
So it's all of course it's all in fun, but King Lord, I have a request. I know you produced the show and I really appreciate it, but I think we need the King Lord to participate. I mean, you ate a whole KFC family meal.
Yeah. That's it.
That's how he fucking rolls, dude. He does not fuck around.
I said what I need to say.
I know you proved your point, but I honestly think Dr. Ryan needs to be taken down, and King Lord is the only one who can do it.
You think Brian's the only one? That's why we need him back?
But that's the shitty thing is that people don't know that I silently, low-key am the Paul Heyman for Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, you
from now on, I put over Dr. Ryan as the champ.
Yeah.
Because he won fair and square, and he's getting screwed over. It's a Stone Cold Steve Austin underdog story.
The only one who can beat him is you, Brian.
And I support him.
Dude,
Dr. Ryan is the champ. I hope he wins every year. My client, Dr. Ryan,
Lord, please,
killed the Christmas cast, and y'all pissed because he won fair and square.
Listen, remember when he tried to have the little nice guy attitude, and then he was fucking blowing it over all of us, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy again."
Dude,
he needs to be fucking taken down.
He does. He's spitting his germs all over the fucking table. It's always wet and sticky when he's done eating there.
Dude,
I don't know what the fuck.
Boy goes in there and does work. He's the hardest working champion out there.
Fucker.
Everybody else goes in there and they limp dick their performance straight up limp dick their performance. Except for Garrett.
All right, thank you, bro.
Okay, thank you.
Except for Garrett
is the true hero.
And that's why I support the working champ.
All right.
I'm a Doc Ryan guy.
He is. You heard it here first. Hey, thanks for calling in. Thank you for sticking with us.
I really appreciate it.
another fellow scared white boy like me, afraid to say the wrong thing. Let's get to our first little break of the show. I should have had it ready before I prefaced it, Brian.
Well, you can still talk about it.
Well, I can. I wanted to just say that, check out the lyrics in the songs I've selected for today's show. I don't know if it's going to make it into the archive on YouTube, but definitely pay attention to the messages. See you soon. Not the next track. I realized I didn't have those tracks loaded up, so I had to jump onto my phone and play that. But that was Earth Crisis. The chat was guessing.
Oh yeah, dude.
That is The Wrath of Sanity by Earth Crisis.
Fuck yeah.
Off the first album. Was that the first album? Was it? I think it was. Let me look back. Album title? Yeah, that was from Destroy the Machines.
Pervert.
No, it's a good album. It's not perverted. The Wrath of Sanity, Justice Unleashed on Judgment Night. There's a lot that I listen to going on in the lyrics of the songs I've been hearing lately, and it's like, wow, this has been applied before to other things.
Yeah, I mean,
that song's actually about, I believe, animal liberation primarily. Earth Crisis is a very vegan. They had a very strong vegan message, that band.
Yeah.
I need to eat something, but all my food's running out. Let's talk to our other Discorders, because there were two more people. I want to make sure we get a few people on. We had our last caller for quite a while.
Yes.
I'm gonna eat this Nubian meat, even though it's bad. I might get sick.
You're gonna get sick.
I got medicine.
Let's talk to Grim. I like. They got Skeletor. They got webs. I think it's gonna be good. I think Grim's gonna be good.
How are you doing, Grim?
Grim.
Hey, what's up?
What up? How are you?
What up, G?
What's up? Not to get into another long-winded political thing.
That's what we're here for.
We're here for. I don't even think it's political, because I never get political because I don't care about politics. I mean,
there's nothing political.
And I don't
Same, but this is important for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't, I would consider political like, hey, let's bash the president and talk about foreign policy. That's politics, and I have fucking no interest in it.
That is not what we're going to do.
But for sure, let's talk about what the fuck is going on over the whole goddamn world.
Yeah, it's like we said, I think on Sunday, it's not, or I think we said on the Big
I just feel like
it's hard,
it's not political to say Black Lives Matter.
True. Well, that's what Rocco stated. He couldn't have said it better, but it is definitely hard coming from a comedy background. We're trying to do a comedic show and stream, and with everything going on, man, I don't feel funny at all.
No.
Or I find it very hard to transition even into that. But I will just quickly say before I keep cutting you off, I listened to how Howard Stern did his show this week, and it was interesting because at the first 2 days, really no talk, really no discussion, no opinion of what's happening until Wednesday. He talked about it a little.
Yeah.
And I get that, man. A lot of people just want their levity, and that's what that show is. That's what our show is. It's something to provide a little levity,
Yeah.
So it's hard. I can see maybe why Howard didn't want to talk about it for the first 2 days, other than a couple callers brought it up. How do you not talk about the fucking rioting in every city?
Yeah.
And the obscene brutality going on by the police force across this country. So it was kind of brought up briefly, but he didn't have any opinions on it. And I found that rather like we said earlier, it's kind of weird people calling people out for that. But it wasn't until today he kind of it's nothing new for him. He's talked about this for so long, and that's kind of how I felt too. It's like, I think our audience knows us so well, and we don't feel comfortable. I got to speak for myself. I don't feel comfortable going on Twitter and leave. Like I said on the podcast, I'm not writing out in a succinct 108 characters like my stance on this atrocity that's happening in the country. That's just not how I want to use my social media.
Yeah.
I have a platform apparently, and I should use that, and that's what I can do by being able to talk for like 2+ hours about this on the podcast, and then here again in my own show, really go deep for as long as we need to tonight with as many callers that call in and want to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing that it makes me feel better is kind of talking through some of this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the only thing that ever makes anything feel better. When you're able to talk about it wherever it is, if you're able to just talk in a safe space, you start to be able to organize.
Oh, is
your
this a
thoughts.
safe space, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're around people who want to grow together, that's always going to be a safe space.
So with all of that, confidently trying to backpedal anything negative I might have said, I will let you finally get a word in, Grim. But no, what's up?
Oh, they dropped.
We dropped him right after I heard
Oh no! What happened? Jump back into the waiting room, Grim.
him. Jump in, Grim.
Yeah. What happened? He's typing. My internet crapped out at the worst time. Okay, cool. We'll
He's
drag
coming
you back.
back. If
I
we'll wait
knew
for
you
him.
would. I knew you would.
We'll wait for him.
Yeah, no worries there.
Right.
There you are.
Hello.
That sucks. Sorry, man. No worries.
No, that's cool. If that happens again, just I'll throw it all in the Discord because whatever. But
We'll have Brian dictate with with Bing.
just like from, and I won't disclose how young I am because I'm on the internet.
Sure.
But like,
Yeah, that's smart.
just from a young mind, this feels even weirder. It's just like there's so much. I feel like.
Didn't you think that, like, hey, the adults are in control, like they're handling it? Like it's
No, we have to handle it.
Yeah.
But Carrie, sorry.
Yeah, carry on. Did he crap out again?
No, he's there.
Oh.
No, okay. It's just, I feel like this younger generation is the one that's the most vocal about all of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
And
That I will say
It's-
that I see that being very true from personal experience. It is that younger generation that is the most vocal and the most active. If you look at the faces in the protest, it's high school kids.
Yeah.
If you look at the people in
Yeah.
the streets, I mean, there's everyone out there, but there is a lot of youth in this fight, and that's when I fought this fight. When
Yeah.
I was in high school and being to put it lightly, like radicalized by punk rock and hardcore music.
Well, yeah.
I went to protest for police brutality and some gay rights protests that also happened here in San Diego that were big
Definitely. went
during
to
the
those.
Prop 9 thing. And like that is that youthful time in my life. That's when I was active and very vocal about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think you're
Yeah.
saying anything wrong there, Grim. I think that's just the right age and the right time and very common experience.
I think another thing with all the younger kids too is that this is the first time they're seeing something like this. Like
Yeah.
most kids in high school right now, they weren't alive for the LA riots. They weren't
No.
like they were super young when stuff like 9/11 happened.
And
Like
you're
just
still-
nothing.
You're still having
It's
your
not-
childhood. This isn't something.
Yeah,
You know?
like we've never experienced such like violence on our homeland, and
Yeah.
just like
This shit's very heavy.
terrible brutality.
This shit is very fucking heavy for 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. There's probably a level of a kid that his parents aren't cluing him in on what's going on in the news, you know. But there's a big amount of kids that are aware of what's going on, and it's probably fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and it's terrifying also because you got to think the older generations, ones who aren't necessarily like tech savvy or phone savvy, like all of a sudden there's this like wild amount of information flowing around them. They don't know what to do with it. They have smartphones and they're seeing all these images. They don't know how to read images. I've said this a million times. Anywhere is that media literacy is something that should be taught in schools if it's not already taught in schools from a young age. The same way you have to have a teacher help you understand novels, you need to have an adult help you understand media marketing and how it's attacking you every single fucking day. So like
So it's
It's so many
interesting.
things.
It's interesting that you're making that assessment that, yeah, it is the youth that are the most vocal and very, because they're learning about it for the first time. Brian and I are kind of desensitized about it because I think I could speak for you. Like, we've known this is how the system keeps people down.
Yeah, no, when the first thing oh, sorry.
No, we've known about that for a while. It's new to a lot of people this week.
Yeah.
Not only young people too. And not ignorant in a negative connotation, but ignorant people who were ignorant to the plight.
Yeah. They bought the advertising of America, the land of the free, home of the brave. Anybody can do whatever they want here. You freedom of everything, and they bought it hook, line, and sinker, and they didn't question it. Yeah. And then what happens, to your credit, Grim, recognizing, the younger people are sort of seeing the wool being pulled from their eyes. They're finally seeing, like Garrett just said, what it's always been, and so they're out there going, no, we don't want this either. And that's why they're going to try to use angst against each other and help and try to push a negative image of this, so that people don't feel like they're actually being safe or supported, or that there's growth. They're gonna try to make it seem like nothing is getting better. But that's why we have to go out there. We are taking control. We have to be the ones that change the world, because those people are going to die soon. The older generations, no matter what,
we are going to inherit this fucking mess.
I'm not saying this to be insensitive or rude.
Well, half of them are falling dead from corona, bro.
Exactly, or angry at any one person. But old people, we will all eventually become the old people. We need to be able to pass on the good things that we did in our lives and minimize the shitty things for the next generations, and support them and listen to them, because they're going to fucking take over. They have to, because that's what our fucking makeup is. That's what humans are. That's the fucking natural state of things. Yeah. Why are we fucking our shit up for the other generations? Just to have some shit now because we're impatient? Because we like to have our, our conveniences, and it's easier to look the other way? Well, fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna let that be the reason that people in this country get killed because they look different.
Yeah.
And nobody else should. And I'm not saying that you have to go out there and stand on the platform and make yourself, shouting down in the streets.
You don't have to do. You don't have to do anything right now.
Yeah.
You can ignore all of this too, but you're gonna have to fucking live with that.
It's just
if you're a human being right now, man, everyone's feeling this shit.
Yeah.
I think if you really are not a sociopath or some kind of fucking racist asshole, I think you're really feeling like, all right, shit will fucking change, and I will help it as best as I can.
Exactly, and
it's good hearing.
He dropped again, but it's
okay. He dropped again, but it is good hearing from Grim.
He can hear us on the stream,
because that's what he said right now. It really is. You see the youth fucking standing up, and
the first protest I went to, I was 16.
Yeah,
it was the Iraq War protest, and I was like, no, fuck this shit, no blood for oil, you know, like, and I wanted to know what in America you can fucking actually protest.
Yeah. Like, that shit doesn't fly in Lebanon, huh?
Some countries in the Middle East, you can't fucking protest. Say
Hell
goodbye.
No.
The fucking
black bag
it's
over
what's
your
happening
head.
right fucking now to us, but it's over there, and we think we're different than some of these countries. We're not. We need to open up. We need to be better. We need to grow. We need to push ourselves.
Open the country? What are you saying?
I'm saying we as people need to open up and become better, and that's the thing that you can do. If you don't have the ability or wherewithal to make, external effects, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, you can educate yourself, you can learn, you can try to listen, you can ask yourself if things that you do are right to any people, not just black people.
Just understanding,
people.
When I feel like the very popular term of privilege came into the American language really heavy in like the last 5 years?
5 to 10 years, yeah.
But really, I mean, there's a definition for what that is, and understanding how systematically there is privilege, I think, is the least you could do. Just understanding the way the world works. Maybe you don't act that way, but understand how certain people do act.
Some people do, and they don't, and they aren't aware, and that's not necessarily their fault either. It again goes back to don't be the person pointing the finger at the people not doing it right. Be the voice that helps them learn, because that's so much more effective than, hey, what the fuck? You still don't get this? At no point will anybody be able to listen or help you if that's your response. So that's why you have to be a little bit more open than maybe you want to be right now. Not saying that it's okay or anything is fine, that people saying shit shouldn't be stopped. I'm saying hold people accountable, but do it in a way that makes the message clear. The point is the message, not getting out your emotions. The point is the message, not getting out your emotions. Oh, you better duck.
R2, can I stab him?
Oh, last minute.
Oh, fuck, I did die, though.
Fuck.
Help.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have another caller?
Yes. We have a couple. Let's go with Holdeth Their Noses.
Holdeth my nose.
What up, Holdeth Their Noses? How you doing?
What up, what up? Sorry, I always have to unmute myself.
What up, Holdeth?
So, bunch of weird shit's going on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it certainly is, man. It certainly is. Weird, odd, strange, terrible. So many ways to describe chaos.
I just wanted to reflect with you guys a little bit on what happened to me yesterday.
Please tell us.
So I live in like a real small town, like you know, kind of agriculture kind of thing.
Okay.
Like Central California, Paso Robles. I don't know if you guys ever rolled through.
Oh, dude, I
know
love
Paso Robles.
I stayed at the Madonna Inn for like a week.
You got a...
Oh yeah, sick. Okay.
Agricultural hub.
Yeah. So they were protesting out yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was driving around listening to like Dead Kennedys, you know, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm gonna go, you know, I'll stand with these people, support this protest.
Exactly, man. So
I went down there, I checked it out, and man, it was like the whole fucking gambit of perspectives, and it was like a whole social studies class.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like the protest scene seems to be the real melting pot that America wanted to be.
I mean, luckily here it was a peaceful protest, but there was so many fucking, you know, Aggie proud American types around.
Yeah.
Like I started getting antagonized by some like white biker gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like threatening me and telling me that I was Antifa when I had, you know, I wasn't even in the protest. I was just there.
Yeah. And that's so scary to me that there's people getting involved when this isn't their, it's not your fucking issue, man. Like the biker gang,
they're all walking around with Bowie knives and shit, and threatening people.
I don't get that.
This right now, it's not about, you know, whatever they're there to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't understand like how so many different groups are now like counter protesting and coming in with their, you know, I don't know. I really don't know how much of it's real, how much of it's conspiracy. Is it just the media that spun this all up and this guy's like, I'm gonna get my biker gang down and we're gonna go fucking stand across
that's
the street
what it felt like to me, because they're convinced about these rumors that like 12,000 people from Fresno were gonna come and like instigate a riot in our little downtown.
Yeah.
And that's the shit that happens, and that's kind of what Garrett's talking about with you know, the misinformation of certain rallies and protests. It's like that is what's causing some of this issue. It's like nobody is coming to take your shit. Nobody is coming to your house to take your shit.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
They tried to get up into Beverly Hills.
I mean,
well, and like weeks ago, they were all down there
looters.
protesting the coronavirus. You know, nobody was down there threatening them.
Right.
Well, I mean, I love the comparisons too of like,
oh my god,
the people are making it a weird fucking the Trumper issue or something, protesting with their AR-15, screaming in cops' faces, and the cops are like just in their blues, no masks, no helmets, no weapons,
no riot gear.
Yeah, and yesterday there was probably like 80 cops down here in riot gear, and it's a small town.
It's a lot, and that's scary to see when you're in the midst of all of this shit and you don't know, and you're like, these people look like military. They don't.
Oh, it is
military.
They are being given, or a lot of departments were being given surplus weapons and equipment from the Middle East conflicts the last 20 years.
Yeah.
That we have all this surplus gear, and they then get new surplus gear with our fucking taxes, and they give the old shit to the law enforcement, to the local police.
Yeah.
Like, this
That's
is,
crazy.
again, this is how the Gestapo took over. Like, this is exactly how it all happens. Don't let it happen again.
That's what it feels like, and I'm
I
not
do
even,
have-
like part of it. I'm just an outsider individual,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're doing the right thing. You felt like you wanted to protest, and you went and you did that, and you were peaceful, and you had to listen to, the counter protest try to give you shit, but you didn't fucking give into it, because really, someone out there just wants that. They just want the fighting between protesters, counter protesters, and the police.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they're looking
looters.
for it.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 very powerful entities all converging on the landscape right now, and it's hard to keep track of what's real.
Yeah.
Well, also, it's like, what do you do about people like that are,
I don't know.
trying to instigate violence and
I don't know, because
they're not going to change their opinion?
You can't call the cops.
You can't call the fucking cops, and you can't meet them with violence.
No.
I understand
Yeah, I tried to just
defending
defuse it
yourself.
with that guy.
I understand defending yourself, but man, love is going to win against violence. That's the only way.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
It's the only fucking way, dude.
Is a
It's-
positivity or a love angle, but you can't love those people. I wouldn't
Yeah.
suggest it.
No, but rather like maybe understand what could motivate them to feel so out of touch that they don't see
That's the
what
thing.
you see
You-
clearly.
you
That's
can educate
it's a
'em
weird
enough.
thing. It's a weird thing to say, right?
They might see enough signs.
They have
might,
such a pride.
Yeah.
They might have a daughter or a son that goes to public school that comes home and fucking grills them about what they're doing on their
Yeah.
Saturday,
Yeah.
and they start to feel bad, and then anything can
Yeah.
happen. But I don't know. I have no fucking idea what you
Well,
do with those people.
it's just difficult because it seems like there's no dialogue. It's just like
Well, and if we
confrontation
want-
and division.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
if,
and that's
if we want freedom and the right to protest, like those people have the right to be out there.
well, let's all.
We can't have it both ways. Like
Yeah.
the counter protesters do have a civil right to be out there, right?
They do.
Yeah, but I mean, should they be antagonizing citizens?
Definitely
Especially me, 'cause
not. What they should be
I'm just
doing,
a person that lives here.
they shouldn't be counter protesting. They should. Why aren't they just protesting alongside BLM and getting the message out there? Because it's a very Blue Lives Matter message, right?
I don't even know.
No, it's mostly what I'm seeing.
That's
is,
one side of it.
It is one side.
It seems
of
like you've got the counter protesters that are all Blue Lives Matter guys and gals.
Yeah, and there was tons of those dudes out there.
And
But
they
this
should
was
be
just like a
standing
biker
with.
gang, They were
should
like,
they should be demanding better policing from the side of the protesters. Why aren't they arm in arm with the BLM protesters?
yeah.
Because they're not really there for that reason. They want to keep the system systematically.
Yeah,
Well, that guy was shouting
oppressed.
in my face too that it wasn't real, like that, like there's no racism, and that these people are protesting for like a not real cause, and
Yeah. See, they don't. That is a moment of those people just really not being aware of what it's like to
anything.
to have things not go their way.
Well, they'll
Like,
never know. They're white
They
people.
can't, yeah. Well, no, this is it. This is the moment where they learn by feeling what it feels like for a moment. There's a reason why a lot of Americans don't really travel outside of this country.
They're fucking scared.
It's because leaving this country, they feel like how we feel every day. You look different. Why are you the different person? What's going on with you?
Yeah, for real.
I shared a story yesterday on the Big Dogs where I talked about like when people compliment what I wear, I forget what I'm wearing because I have to just kind of like I'm numb to the fact that people look at me twice. People have always looked at me twice my whole life, whether it's because I had long hair or did something else that's probably didn't help it, but I'm
Well, you're not
clearly
white.
Exactly.
That's why I could never understand what that fucking felt like.
And,
I
and
could always
dude,
cut my hair off and cover up my tattoos, and I won't get stared
even
at
you,
the grocery
Garrett, though,
store.
I mean, you're alternative looking. I'm sure you
Well,
get a lot of like bad
That's why.
looks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm sure I'd get an earful from those bikers too about what they thought I was interested in.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll say right now, like, I would never understand how that feels for Bryan, because I could wear long sleeves and I could cut my hair off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If it got too bad.
technically, I could shave my face and
Are you white passing, Bryan?
lighten
Is
my
that what you're
hair,
saying?
and I could be white passing. But the fact that that's a phrase,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the fact that I had to have a realization that I wasn't white one day, you know, like that's the kind of thing that people don't understand. Because it's how else?
Because it's never happened to them.
How can you? And it'd be insane of me to expect you.
Well,
to
it almost
understand
seems it seems like something from a fucking science fiction movie.
Yeah.
It does not seem like, oh no, if you're young, I mean, I'm not young, but if you're even on the younger side and you consume American media, you're like, yeah, that was back in the days, World War II, you know, Schindler's List. That happened and
it's
that's
over.
terrible, but that's over, you know.
Yeah,
And
most
it's
people
like,
think it's over.
You know, it's not.
It's not over. It hasn't been over.
Yeah,
We're all
I think
realizing that.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like it hit me in the face because I live in this bubble of like positivity and like acceptance. I don't really think a lot of people think this way, you know?
No.
Until it's like they're yelling at me in my face for no reason.
Especially the younger generation, like people who are connected through social media and the internet, like in Twitch and all of this, you know, connectivity that we have. We understand each other so much better. We take the time
it's a global community
to learn and educate ourselves because we sympathize, empathize with each other.
It's so much bigger than it ever was, you hanging out in your bedroom with all of our friends in East County, San Diego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we are talking to a global community, and we've made friends with people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And have accepted those understandings and those differences, and we don't discriminate against them.
Yeah.
But that's the youth movement. That is truly, if anything is going to save this fucking planet, this human
It's
race.
us. We take control. This isn't acceptable.
It's the next
You're gonna
generation
be held
learning.
accountable. You know, what did Neo say at the end of the fucking Matrix?
You gotta stop with the movie references, or we're gonna sound like fucking. I swear to God, man. It can't all be Harry Potter and Voldemort. It's happening in real life.
I know. It's just
You know, Neo, sooner or later you're going to have to know the difference between walking the path and knowing it. I transposed those, but is that the one you were looking for?
No, it's what does he say on the phone? He's like there's a storm coming. Like his little like ending monologue at the about taking down the system. It's just I think
They don't gotta burn the books; they just remove them.
Yeah, he's starting
Some Prodigy lyrics or something.
No, dude, it's really important. You make a very good point here. I use media genuinely. I use media
That's
as a
what
language.
we consume, man.
I use media as a language. People don't realize how, like, it's the same thing as think about how dynamic music is. That it makes you feel an emotion. That you can get chills just from hearing your favorite song.
That's
or
what
whatever.
speaks. Hey, man, the thing that I have been using to get through this shitty fucking couple. It's more than a week now. I mean, this shit started Monday.
Yeah.
Memorial Day. Is music.
Yeah.
And I think my stream from last Thursday is up on the Mega 64 Archives channel. Shouts out. and like, I had just been getting a taste, like 3 days of what was going on, and I kind of curated some of my songs and the lyrics to reflect that. And listening back
I
on
love the track you did on the break. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Well, and even before that, I really had fun remixing some Jello Biafra spoken word stuff, over some hip hop beats, and it was like I was doing that on Wednesday, and then listening back to that later in the week is like, wow, this is like I should have done more of this because it's telling a real fucking poignant tale about what's going on. And I got another DK. I got some Dead Kennedys for you lined up. That definitely fits in, kind of a counterpoint to the lyrics and the message and the understanding and the energy behind that Earth Crisis song. This is in the same theme, but with a different perspective, I would say.
You gotta get it out somehow, right?
Yeah, you gotta, man. It's anger is an energy, and there's a lot of fucking angry people out right now.
Route it.
But don't put that anger and that energy out into the
In a
world.
feedback loop.
Don't put it out into the world as a negative force or violence.
Yeah.
Take that anger, take that energy, and put it into something
Channel it.
that is positive for you, and if you can, and you should put that energy into what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know the fucking answer, so I don't even like getting. That sounds fucking preachy. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate after I say something.
I have asthma.
Except for that, I do have to use my inhaler real quick. Hold on a second here.
I think it's important though, you know.
It is. Well, it's hard to say these things because it's an uncomfortable thing to say, and it's like, it's not a you don't know how to say it because there's no careful way to address this issue.
Well, I just don't have all the answers.
Exactly.
And I don't even know if my advice is right. I don't know if I'm fomenting dissent. I hope some.
No, you're not.
I want dissent in some areas, not in others, though. You know what I mean? I want there to be a fucking change, and for that change to happen, people gotta fucking wake up.
Yep.
And cities burning down is waking people up, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
You would think so. But what will something fucking change after this, man?
If we keep pushing, they can't resist.
I will push forward.
That's what made America to begin with. We wanted independence. We wanted freedom. We didn't want to be taxed for shit that we didn't have, representation for. It's happening again.
It truly is what the fucking country was founded on.
Yep.
When people migrated from Europe to conquer this land.
Yep.
It was persecution and it was rebellion, but also how blind our forefathers were to just fucking rape the land.
Yeah.
And the people who were already here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cycle, man. I see how it works. Anyway. Are you ready?
Call.
Are you ready for that DK track?
I'm ready.
All right. Thank you again for your call, man.
Thank you guys.
Holdeth your nose and
stay safe out there, man.
Some homies to talk about this thing it really helps a lot. So
that's good to hear.
Glad we could help you, man.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad that it's hard to try to be entertaining or be funny this week, but I'm glad that we're doing something for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it helps the community, It's hard to swallow all this pain and evil,
Yeah.
Don't swallow it. It'll make you sick. Spit that fucking evil out.
Hell yeah.
Spit
Take it
that shit out.
Turn it into something positive.
Here is
I will.
Track called Riot by the Dead Kennedys. And we're back. Back with a bang, Brian.
Oh, yes, we are.
Tomorrow you're homeless. Tonight it's a blast.
Yeah, living like a millionaire with $3 in your pocket.
Yeah, that song is very, very, I would say, it shares a very same message from, when was that fucking written? Probably 1987 or something like that.
Yeah.
Till now, it's still more relevant than ever today. And the overall theme there is that's what they want. You're playing right into their hands. Riot, is really playing right into the hands of what the system wants to shut everything down.
Yep.
To add curfews, to roll people into paddy wagons,
to justify a police state,
shut down the media, start taking Wi-Fi signals off the grid in that area. I mean, all of the shit we're seeing now, it's like more advanced than 1980.
Oh yeah.
But we're still here. And
Oh,
that other track by Earth Crisis, almost a completely different message of the understanding that, hey man, shit ain't gonna change.
No. And
so our hands are forced, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing I will say I guess I do understand out of this. Like, there's some things that I can see plainly, but man, there's so much I don't know.
Yeah. We all need a change. And that's what's gonna happen. Real quick, Grim did have that message, so he sent it to us.
Yeah, he was a
they
good caller.
said this generation needs to be the generation that learns to love each other. All this brutality going on in our streets should be taken as lessons. who to trust, and how to move forward as a country. And I think that's a pretty good sentiment.
Do you think? I think so too. And it really does. That's who's going to inherit this fucking rock.
Yeah.
Is this younger generation. But do you think that people seeing all of this on television right now are going to go like, hell no, I don't want to become a cop?
Hey!
Like,
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Are the younger generation paying attention and looking at this, and are they going, damn, it looks fun to be a cop? Or are they going like, God, the last thing I'd ever want to be is a law enforcement officer?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely looking more along the lines of if people want to be police, they're going to be like a very different style of police.
Right now it's apparently obvious there is a definite type of person who goes after the job in law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I know that there's people generationally, and maybe it didn't used to be that way, but it looks like it was always that way, is what we're finding out.
Yeah.
I love the meme that I kept seeing earlier in the week where it's like, the all cops are bastards, the ACAB thing has always been around.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing all cops are bastards. Yes, even the dumb fucking piece of shit in your family that's a cop, especially him. And it's like, that's unfortunately probably what so many people have to deal with is like, you know, police are still citizens as well. They certainly taking advantage of the job, but they're us.
Mm-hmm.
It's valuable. If we can make mistakes, so can they. I mean,
Well, yeah, but
how do you fix that?
And that's the thing. Like, sure, they can make mistakes, but like, boy,
you can't
make a mistake if you're a cop. It's
not
I think
like
Chris
they've been
Rock
making.
said it. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't make mistakes if you're a pilot.
That bit is coming around big. The Chris Rock
Jesus,
thing.
I had seen it before because I'd never seen the whole stand-up, but I'd seen that part, and I'm like, that's a pretty fucking good line.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking true. Like,
I'm seeing a lot of the Richard Pryor stuff coming around again. I'm seeing a lot of Sam Kinnis. No. George. Who's the old fucker? The dusty
Carlin?
old fucker. George Carlin.
Yeah, I mean, he talks about how the table is tilted, the game is rigged. It's been this way for years. You just think,
he's preaching as a hippie from the '60s who saw it. You know.
I mean, that's where I learned so much of this from. Like, I learned it from him, watching Chris Rock, watching all those stand-ups. Like,
it's so close to the anniversary of Kent State, where the National Guard was called in and shot and injured
students
in the teens, like 20 or 14 students, and killed 4. That was an anniversary we just celebrated. That happened, you know. And you don't celebrate that anniversary. I should walk that way. But yeah, I mean, it's been this way, and man, you said something about comedians, and you brought that up, and that's like, I, as a fan of comedy, and someone who tries to do this for a living here, you know, with Mega 64, I love that humor. I love comedians when they discuss race. That's always been an interesting topic.
Right.
And I think I know the most, and I've learned so much because comedy is typically a look inward at society, and making fun of the things that go on there. And you could take that as a teaching moment.
Oh, dude, I remember watching Kings of Comedy, the Kings of Comedy with D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac, like that big ass fucking DVD that came out when I was like 12 or 13.
So many of Americans' top comedians have been black and have gotten this message out before as jokes, but
Sidney Poitier, like everybody, like they've been around saying it, like the message has been around and been said for as long as there have been black people in this country.
Yeah.
Like, it's the problem is the voice is getting louder and louder because, again, holding them accountable.
What I was getting at, though, Brian, was, like, you brought up comedians, comedy, talking about the subject. And that is always, since I was in high school and since I was involved in the hardcore scene and learning about shit that went on from listening to old punk songs, and seeing how that gave me youth energy to be out there and angry about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Since then, my real exposure has been, because that time came and went for me.
Mm-hmm.
What replaced it was comedy and comics and the voice of oppression through comedy. But that lens almost distorts it. Like, these are jokes. Everyone's joking about this, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Almost like,
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
you know, the Bill Cosby thing, it came out of a comedian's, like, joke about it. And everyone said, haha, yeah, we know Bill Cosby, he's a little touchy-feely. And it's like, who was it that, it was a Hannibal Buress? It was like, no, man, check it out. Like, look into it. That's what started the Bill Cosby thing.
Yeah.
It was always said through the joking lens, and it took the comedian to say, stop, I'm not joking now. Look at this.
Yeah.
And that really happened. So using the bits on social media and using those old comedians' routines to spread some of this knowledge too, I'm seeing that now, and I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
But man, that is just really something like I kind of maybe thought in the last 15 years of my life, yeah, like we got this shit licked. Like my immediate community, like my friends and family, like I don't see a lot of this shit. And the comedy I listen to, you know, like it's all tongue in cheek, like, but that's not really how it is. It's like, nah, it's fucking really how it is. Still.
Yeah. That's the shitty part. It's like the reason you don't joke about it is because there's no way to joke about it when people are actually dying.
Well, right now, right now, no one's joking about it.
Right, and that's kind of.
But that is how, you know.
Yeah.
Racial humor. It's definitely it's so different now in 2020, with the way things have progressed and changed. When it comes to like PC speak, and just comedy policing in general. That's a whole nother fucking subject I'm not going to go down.
Yeah.
But that landscape has changed already, and I think it'll continue to change. I wonder what does comedy look like in 2021.
I think I genuinely think it'll be a little bit more intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, rather than the lowest hanging fruit of jokes, it'll be a little bit more smart. You know, a little bit like, for me again, it's like those things like any deprecating joke where somebody is the foil, or you know, like you know, there's the loving jokes that we do here with teasing, oh, Garrett's forgetful, yeah, you know, because it's fun and you acknowledge it and it's a fun thing. If you genuinely were like trying to tell us that your memory issues are something that make you feel bad when we bring them up,
you'd stop joking about it.
We'd stop joking about it. Like, right? Like, that's the difference. It's not using the shortcomings of people as a way to somehow push them away from you or separate them in any way. And that's why that humor isn't good anymore.
Well, I mean, it just depends, because like I'm not gonna write off punching down completely.
Yeah.
There's a way that it's done or can be done where it's funny, and it just depends, man. I guess it just depends on if it's funny, you know. The Chris Rock bit's funny. It's funny coming from Chris Rock.
Well, you gotta think about what, again, that's a more complex joke, right? There's more to it than just the fact that it's the difference between two different ethnic groups.
Look at the entirety of like the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
I mean, all racial humor. Almost every sketch, hilariously well executed, funny. But you know, that show can't exist. That was lightning in a bottle.
Oh, you could never have that show air on TV today, but I mean, it would be on some streaming service for sure. I mean, actually, last year, one of the best shows that I watched, aside from The Watchmen, was that I don't want to missay the name now, but the Black Lady sketch comedy show.
Oh, that was a great show.
Lady. Yeah, you and I were, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I started watching it with you and Trish and Jasmine, and then we finished it at home.
The name was so intriguing. I was like,
yeah.
What?
A Black Lady sketch show was one of the best shows that came out last year,
because
and I can't recommend that enough.
That show had humor about race, and it was also well executed in a way that there were jokes made at the audience. They knew the white audience watching's expense. Yeah. And it was like, that's fucking funny.
And that's what Chappelle did too.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And Key and Peele did that too. Killer DLS brings that up too. But I mean,
but that is how I have consumed through the lens of comedy.
Yeah.
Like at least the last 15 years. You know, comedy and music, really. That is the only, you know, real glimpse into. You're joking about the oppression, or you're singing about it, or it's being written in music about.
Yeah.
But it's now on every feed of every social media platform. It's on the news 24/7. It could be in your backyard on fire right now. I mean,
Shit.
everyone's got to fucking pay attention.
You gotta pay attention.
Do we have more Discord
We
callers?
do.
I know I'm done talking because I've said enough.
Let's talk to Cowfish.
I want to hear from them. I can't say anymore. I don't know.
What up, Cowfish?
Not much.
Take me, Cowfish. Take me away. Take me
Okay.
away from all this.
Oh man, I don't know. You brought up something that I don't know. I've been struggling for a bit.
Yeah.
I know. You've been saying that like
Let's struggle
you
together.
feel multiple like emotions and things like that, and I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah. You totally brought up ACAB.
Yeah. We can say it. We're allowed. This is the internet, baby.
Holocaust Protector. I don't know. Yeah. The whole thing is like, yeah, like, the whole like police organization is like totally like functionally corrupt and like just as a structure, and I totally
Sure.
believe.
I
that.
mean, we're all finding out that it's been built on corruption forever. I mean, how many fucking crime podcasts have we all listened to about police corruption?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening
on the
to,
micro level, and now you're seeing it on the macro level, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I was listening.
it's the
Go.
organizers of the police. It's not only the boots on the ground. It's the captains and the chiefs. Then it's the mayors. Then it's all the way up the fucking chain.
All the way up.
Yeah. I was listening to a vid doc on To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
And like their final like case was against like a there was a Texas like prosecutor or something along those lines that they were gonna bust, and they were busting it from another department, and that other department has like saying all the time like, oh, this To Catch a Predator is like not justice at all and things like that, which is, oh, sorry, you died.
They protect their own. I did die. I
Yeah,
should've
yeah,
put it
they
in
were
notes.
absolutely protecting their own, and the fact that they can't be held accountable, like, even for all this, like, I knew like it was such BS that the police can't, they don't get charged at all for any other crimes. Like, I don't have the statistics on me, but
Sure. And statistics are who fucking, I don't know numbers.
Oh,
I'm-
yeah.
I'm-
And who do you think makes
who
the
do you?
numbers?
Yeah, who makes the fucking numbers exactly, Brian?
China for decades was saying that it was producing like so much, and then I went there, and there are ghost cities in China of,
Yeah, you
of
saw
places
that.
where people can't afford to live, but they're just in the middle of a plot of dirt, basically. Buildings 70 stories tall, big old plazas, empty.
Damn.
Empty. No one's there. They're just producing.
Yeah.
Because it helps their GDP.
But you said, Cowfish, that you have a myriad of thoughts about all of these things,
Yeah.
and feelings towards it. Because I'll share an unpopular feeling I'm having, because I said earlier, the police officers are also citizens of the United States
absolutely.
too. They're also people, and I can see fucking fear in their faces in some of these videos too.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
fucking scared.
And they
I'm not
can't,
giving any excuses to any fucking cops, but there are ones out there that are trying to do good. That in their mind they're trying to do the right thing, and what is there's a lot of talk about like what does America without a police force look like? Like if you completely defund the police, what does that look like? I don't know what that looks like, because all I've ever had is a police force in my life.
Yeah, and I personally believe that, personally, I don't think I'll ever say ACAB. Like, I will never type
Sure.
that out.
Well, I mean,
won't,
if
yell
hey,
at people for typing it out.
I'm out of anger. I have no problem with anyone saying that. I do feel like, Jesus Christ, man, if the conspiracy runs as deep as people think it is, are you getting on lists by writing this on your social media? Are you being targeted now by? You're definitely gonna be targeted by. It's a searchable term on your stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
by other groups that want to cause harm and just who knows? Maybe for the
Yeah.
lulz, but maybe just for nonsense.
Yeah. I don't write. I haven't written much on my social media. I've written like things that I think are not
Sure.
controversial in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
And
now's not a time for virtue signaling too. You know,
Yeah.
you see a lot of people writing a lot of stuff where it's like,
I don't have much to say.
I
Other
yeah,
than
I don't
it's
know.
stop.
I don't feel comfortable that it's my place to say
Yeah.
anything. I feel like the people that I can express myself how I want to express myself on a stream like this.
Yeah.
But I cannot do that in Twitter.
yeah.
I refuse to do that. I'm not
yeah,
going to be
that's
told
why
how
it's
to
like,
use my social media either.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of what I say is like very surface level, so like it can't be misconstrued. But
Sure.
I mean, but I'm just like struggling with thoughts all the time. It's like, yeah, I won't say ACAB, but like I don't have, I can understand like people say they're all complicit, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that thought that like everyone's complicit, but
Sure.
also by policy, by union, they can't incriminate their own. Each
That's
other.
why the system
And that's
was
the
set.
system.
The system was set up that way by design.
It's like NDAs, like or settlements out of court. Like the biggest thing is they're not allowed to talk about it afterwards, and it basically conceals the truth because they didn't go through the public courts.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck is that? Like that's just we all know that's bullshit.
Right.
You know, covering
Right.
it, like not being transparent is bullshit. You like.
And,
That's the thing that sucks, is that there is no transparency, and now
Yeah.
that there is, or there wasn't transparency, now that there is, because people are holding the police accountable. Again, yeah, it's like the whole unionized thing, the laws, the rules of like, yeah, why don't cops get a certain charge when something happens to them? Well, because you forget about the fact that they have a family, and their family gets an awesome benefit package because they work for the city. And if you get dishonorably discharged from the cops, then your kid who is going to go to college with a $50,000 grant now cannot go to college because you're the dumbass. And it's like, so how does their family suffer because they're an idiot? Some would say yes, but is that, we can't blanket statement that.
I
We
don't
have-
know, man.
You know?
I don't know.
But-
I don't know because I haven't looked
Fucking
into.
sucks.
I can't imagine how you have no police, because there's a lot of people in there that don't believe in the Second Amendment and they don't want anyone to have guns. Well, what do you do when the bad guys with guns come to your house
yeah.
and you don't have a gun?
Like,
You have to call
know
the
what-
police, right?
Yeah, you know what
If-
the police are like in like England, right?
Yeah.
Like in terms of like which cops have guns and
Sure.
which ones don't. Yeah, like I think in like a lot of countries, like yeah, no one carries, like not all the cops carry firearms.
And
like,
then
there's-
in some
yeah.
countries, they carry even bigger, badder, fully automatic AK-47s.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember being in Lebanon and going to a checkpoint. This wasn't even the police; it was just whatever local militia
that's
had the
well,
occupation
that
of
is
the area.
It's a military.
It is their police, yeah. And
that's the thing in Tijuana.
Kalashnikovs and AKs. I mean, yeah, you're sitting at a fucking checkpoint, and you know, if anybody moves wrong, there's a chance your entire car gets shot up.
Speaking of comedy and the comedians and Hannibal Buress saying his Bill Cosby thing, but saying, no, look into it. It's like, what's the joke forever, Brian, about going to Tijuana? Bring a $100 get out of jail free card with you.
Yeah.
So if you get pulled over by the federales, who are the military, but it's the police.
Yeah.
They're at a checkpoint with they're 18-year-olds with AK-47s, and they're just stopping you because they know that they can get money. That's the joke. But it's like, haha, yeah, you know, bring $100 to get out of jail if you go to Tijuana and you get stopped at a checkpoint. That's the joke. But also look into that. Like, why does everyone know that in San Diego for the last 20 years? And that's how Mexico is. That's how the police force is.
Yeah.
And it's always been.
Yeah. And it's corrupt. It's the people in power will make it look like they're serving you for as long as they can, just like kings did to fiefdoms, and
Yeah.
it hasn't fucking changed.
Samurais and their shogun.
Again, it's the bullshit. That's the system that
To
we
use
need to help people fight against, and that's what it is.
Yeah. So like you mentioning about like what would life be like without the police. The whole like I guess what I've been seeing recently about like abolish the police is that of course it's gradual, but it's like
reform
like,
and
yeah,
education.
And it's like, I don't really think that like there won't be like a police, like there'll probably be like
as a
criminal
civilized
agencies, like
as a civilized society, what do you, if it's not called police, it's still some authority who handles.
yeah.
People go off their meds, and schizophrenics will attack random strangers. Who do you call to stop that? That's
law enforcement, I guess, or public defenders, like what, like.
But
yeah,
it's still this. You give power to a person who's fallible,
right?
And they get power hungry, and they start to develop ways to abuse that power.
Well, yeah. So the idea would be, I guess, is the training that goes into becoming a police needs to be more rigorous. It needs to be more
Well, the fucking
more
IQ
de-escalation based.
If you're too, I love the literal fact that if your IQ is too high, the law enforcement will not hire you because they know you will not do what you're told.
Shit.
I mean,
Hey, yeah. I mean, I've had some friends who work in law enforcement.
I have had.
And honestly, the people, I shouldn't say friends. There
I've
were
had
people I knew in
riots.
high school who were friends in high school.
I've met, yeah.
And they became cops. Were and are no longer.
I
How
don't-
did that happen?
I've met and dealt with a lot of police officers, not in a confrontational situation. I've done plenty of that skateboarding in San Diego. So I didn't really have a love for cops to begin with.
Right.
Before, but as a profession, as an electronics technician, I wired up a ton of law enforcement vehicles, motorcycles for a company called Thunderworks that was an outfitter for car stereos and boat radios and RV things. Every once in a while, we'd get a little government contract to do a fleet of squad cars. Take all the old shotgun locks and the siren and the light bars and all that shit out of the old Crown Vic, the new Crown Vics that they all got from our tax money. We'd throw it all in. You know, recycle the electronics and the big dollar items, but basically outfit these cars. And that's what I did. And I had to talk to these guys all the time coming around, and nice enough guys for the most part. But there's a thing there. There's definitely a thing with a lot of cops I've interacted with that it's like, it's a power trip mentality, and you're seeing that in all of this protest footage, where there's a lot of guys just keeping the peace, and then there's a fucking trigger hungry dude out there with his paintball gun who's fucking shooting for the eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, in San
But
Jose,
the other guys are letting it happen. You know, sometimes you see him pull people back, but I don't know. My mind's fucking blown.
It's pretty insane.
what I'm seeing.
If you haven't seen Generation Kill, it's a very good miniseries.
I watched that. I remember that. That's old, man.
That's an old one.
Yeah,
it's
HBO.
it's about going into Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom. David Milch, if I'm not mistaken. Fuck, I always forget. I always get the two. David Simon. David Milch did Sopranos. Anyways, David Simon, who also did The Wire, which is also another phenomenal show about people of color in Philadelphia. But Generation Kill is really short, really exceptional, and it kind of talks about what you two were just discussing about basically the approach of the military and the low IQ ability of these people who were given guns and the mistakes they made while they were there, and then the high-ranking officers who were actual military professionals trained to have discipline and go on special ops, being teamed with these people and going, these guys are idiots and they're causing us fucking issues.
But how fucking dangerous would
and
you?
It looks exactly the same as here.
I
It
know.
looks exactly the same as here,
Because
just
you
in
got
the desert.
you probably got some guys that are higher up, trying to do the right thing. They've got the discipline and they can keep cool. And then you see guys that are fucking scared and they're just pulling the trigger.
Yeah. 18-year-olds who didn't know. One guy who said they offered me, the quote that stuck with me, they offered me 12 months in jail or one tour.
Ugh.
I wish I would have taken the 12 months in jail.
oh.
Like, imagine that. A criminal, somebody who's already not in a place mentally that can tell the difference between, you know, doing something right and wrong, and then the option is to either go to jail or go fight a war in another country. and you're gonna give them weapons of destruction. So like, I don't know, like that doesn't sound right.
No.
No,
none of it fucking sounds right, man.
No.
That's why we're all pissed. We're all fucking disgraced. If we weren't already embarrassed as Americans for the way that our political system has been running for the last fucking however long, because it goes just back forever anyway, we should be so fucking embarrassed of what's happening now. I mean, I know it's everywhere, but it started here.
Yeah.
And it's very apparent here.
Yeah. Just, I don't think I can even like talk to like anyone outside like this country. Just like,
hey,
remember,
here's the thing. It's not about carrying guilt. It's not about having shame. It's not about sulking. It's not about running into the corner and tucking your tail between your legs.
But there used to be a thing about being proud to be
there was, and
living the American dream.
And it sucks that we have to again redefine what an American is, or take it back to what really makes America the land of the free and the home of the brave, and stand up to ourselves, because that's the problem that we have. Even internally, we got to stand up to ourselves, to the things that are negative in our lives, so that we can be positive for other people, because that's the best thing that we can do, is help each other out. We are a community, we are a people, we are alive, we are all the same fucking person, just through different lenses. You can't take away the experience of one person for yourself just because you don't see it. You have to listen and accept that their reality is their own. That's the only thing that you can ever do.
What if the only life in this universe is the one universe itself, living out its experience through every individual living organism in that universe?
Dude, what if...
That's why you're my brother. That's why... It's truly a human race, and you can't fucking treat people different than how you would want to be treated, man. I mean, that fucking golden rule has been around since fucking Christ walked on Earth, if he ever did.
Yeah. Let me just say, I'm really happy that the Metal Gear Solid 2 theme's playing in the background right now.
Do you like that? It's very poignant. That's we're sending all kinds of subliminal messages through music today. On the show.
We are.
And we're going long. We got to make sure we get to everyone. We are going long.
Yeah.
But there's more in the chat. Is there anything else you wanted to wrap up with? But I thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, I guess just to finish the whole point about like abolish the police, I just want to bring up like Star Trek.
Yeah.
And like in Star Trek, the world is communist by then, because money doesn't have a purpose when everyone is like.
Yeah, you got AI doing all your homework for you.
Yeah.
You got robots running
I feel like
your errands.
that's what abolish the police. And I guess like the more accurate thing, like the more like visible thing, I think the less controversial thing is defund the police. And I'm like, I can totally get behind that. So like, I mean, I'm not gonna say ACAB, or I'm probably gonna say you defund the police before I say abolish the police.
Make your voice heard.
Like,
only a total fucking anarchist who wants more death and destruction and hate in this world would really think a total abolition of the police. I just don't. I don't know how that. I don't see how that works. You
have to have something, because the bottom line is
by community, but by reform and by local jurisdiction. I don't know. This isn't my fucking field.
Yeah. No. And more interesting, I think, what's the best term? Like more capable minds, more free minds to think in that direction should be given that task. Ones who are more suited to.
But how do you elect these people if the election process is even rigged?
So yeah, that's the issue. It's like we have to take the control.
Not to be so black-pilled, but like that's kind of how I have spent the last fucking 10 years of my life, is like so fucking nihilistic and dark that what's the point, because it's never fucking changed at this point, and it never will, right?
Well, that's what they want us to think.
That truly is.
They really, that's oppression. It's never going to change, so why even fight it? Like, that's what it means to feel like you have no hope. And no, we do. Yeah. We do have hope.
In our lowest stage, I feel that like we're going to have like more people are going to fight.
Yes.
And that's like that if there's any benefit from this pain, is that people are waking up.
Yes. In this country, we need to do a lot. It's a lot of reform. It goes back to a million different things, but the first thing is social reform. We need to get people better mental health assessments, better mental health help, especially because so many people don't have parents to actually give that to them. So many parents have mental health issues not knowing, because previously it wasn't a diagnosable issue. They had kids, they passed on their mental health issues to their kids.
That's always how it's been.
And it doesn't help anybody, so we need to help there, because when you start helping people from that aspect of it, then people start to feel nurtured and cared. Right now, people's fears have been played on. That's the thing that they've always done to keep us fighting each other, is that they play on the fears, they point out obvious differences, and they make it seem like it's a problem. But we know people personally now. We can meet anybody over the internet and never even know what they look like, and find out that somebody's actually a female instead of a male behind the screen name, or, you know, a totally different person.
I got catfished.
Whatever it might be. You know, the fact that we can create Hatsune Miku and have a simulated world famous performer, you know, that's the kind of shit that we need to focus on.
We got to look forward, because we can't undo what's happening.
No.
And the only good thing, I guess you look at, hey, the fires are burning so bright that people are fucking seeing them, and they're seeing what's happening.
Yeah. Then that's the
and
best part.
It is, like you said, Cowfish, you know, like it's already too late. It already happened, but hopefully it's waking more people up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope so too.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man.
Anyway, yeah, this is like the first time I ever called, but I'm kind of glad I did.
Dude,
A
I'm
lot,
glad
of
you
people,
did too.
a lot of people don't know
Yeah.
what to do with this energy right now, and I am one of them. And I'm not usually afraid to talk about anything, but I'm so fucking angry. It's like I just don't know. I don't know how to even express myself.
Yeah, dude. And that's the hardest thing, because nobody
And
does.
I'm done being worried about, like, I'm gonna say the wrong thing, because, like, people fucking know me, know who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to learn if I do say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's truly wrong. But there's a lot of opinions, are opinions, man. That they're
Yeah, I
not
feel
necessarily wrong.
This is a safe place to talk, so
Sure.
I'm really glad about that.
Well, I'm glad that we can,
Yeah, dude.
what do you call it? Utilize that, or we can provide that for you, man.
Yeah.
If this is the first time you called and you felt good and safe, and kudos, man. I'm happy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. That was
Getting
great
it
call.
off our chest.
Great call.
Great call. And there's more. I don't want to...
yes.
I do see... They've been waiting. Alo Jabba and Muff Diva.
Let's go.
Let's make sure we get our last two calls. I don't know if we have time for more.
Oh, dang, yeah. It's getting pretty late.
there.
All right. Alejo Abba. What's up, buddy?
What up?
How you doing, man?
Can you hear me?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm hanging out down south, you know.
Down south. How far
Hearing
south?
about this crazy shit. Probably like a bit from the equator, I guess.
Oh, okay,
Colombia.
all right. South America?
Yeah.
Cool.
Dang, dog. That's sick.
How,
And I just want to change the subject, like, real quick, and just talk about this new Paper Mario game that's coming out.
I forgot about that.
I have no qualms about changing the subject, because we're definitely here for a little levity too. But
Yeah, go up. What do you want to say about the Paper Mario?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Have you ever played that series?
You know,
that fucking
that
Super
new
Mario
art
RPG?
style with the origami, it looks interesting. Because I haven't. Have you played those, Brian?
I played Super Paper Mario, which was incredible. That was
Okay.
that
That
was
game is awesome.
that was more of like a action RPG. So it played like a regular Mario game, but then you could do all the fun little like jumps and hops and flourishes that you could learn to time in Paper Mario. And then they've never made another game like that. I was hoping this new Paper Mario would be more like that, but I don't think it is. I think it's back to it's a turn-based RPG, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
is
think
it?
So it's kind of like the old N64 ones. I guess.
Yeah,
It's like
because it's the
super dope.
spiritual successor to Mario RPG.
Yeah.
So
I'm still waiting for Gino to drop on Smash, honestly.
oh God, there's more Smash content. I heard there's a big Spirit Board update, like an event coming on soon.
I haven't fucked with the Spirit Board since it first came out.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It was
I
just
liked
it was so big, and I did so much of it that I that I was just like, okay, again, I got it, I'm good, thank you, bye.
Oh, it's long.
It's
I
super
beat,
long.
like like the boss. I thought the final boss was like it, and
No.
then it's like 2 more bosses, and holy shit.
It opens up
Oh,
all these
so-
areas, and you open like there are like 6 different things that you have to like collect to bring in the colors to open up the thing. And I'm like, I just want to play. Did I unlock all the characters now? Okay, cool. Now I can play. So, but yeah,
I'm just
I'm
hyped for
interested.
these new RPGs, man. Like,
Dude, me
I
too.
Need more RPGs in my life.
Final Fantasy VII are reawoken my my love for Japanese RPGs because of their structure and their wonderful amount of depth.
That really is the first JRPG I've stepped back into in a long time. Is the Final Fantasy VII remake.
And so I popped in now that I'm done with it, and done and over with Final Fantasy VII. I moved on to Yakuza Kiwami 2. I just started that. I put like 5.5, 6 hours into that over the last 2 days.
Are you gonna do Xenoblade? Because I know Rocco and Kevin both got that.
You know,
the remake.
Yeah, that Switch one.
I might, but I honestly don't really feel. I feel like I'll have the same impression that I had last time,
Yeah.
which
You're
is
not
like,
feeling it like so.
yeah, I like. So what I like about Yakuza is that it's a beat 'em up that has RPG elements. That is an RPG. So instead of kind of like in Final Fantasy where you're more hands-on controller, you get to go in and play the fights, and the fighting system in Kiwami 2 is so fucking nice. The game is beautiful. The depth of detail in that game is like Red Dead Redemption 2 levels. It's like you.
Is there anyone jacking off to this right now?
I would.
I would definitely. It's Red Dead Redemption 2 levels, guys.
It's really fucking beautiful. Like the game looks. It looks like you're in Japan.
Is there anyone jacking off to this right now?
It looks so
love
fucking
Japan.
good. And yeah, I was very impressed. So I'm liking RPGs again. Before it kind of felt like too much of a commitment, but now I've kind of realized like. Honestly, like, I've been playing Resident Evil 7, I'll get to a part that's just, okay, this is too stressful. Like, I have to fight, what's her name, Marguerite, and I'm like, she's all over the place, and
she's got maggot mouth.
And I keep missing her, and like, I don't have enough fire rounds, and now I'm fucking frustrated, and I just want to see what happens. And then I'm like, fuck this, and then I go and I put in Resident Evil 5, and I play the first 4 chapters, and for 4 hours, and I'm like, Resident Evil 5 is a fucking badass game that we shit on because we wanted Resident Evil 4.
Because I suck at it, and I made you play.
No. Resident Evil 5. When we were playing it, I had fun. I had fun playing with you, except for those certain parts that required the knowledge of already beating the game recently to know what the other characters needed to do.
I don't know. Doc Ryan said that all we had to do was shoot him in the chest, and I don't know why I couldn't figure that out.
That whole fight was a fucking fiasco. Holy shit.
Gotta learn his pattern though.
But no, the Resident Evil 5 remake, or not remake, Resident Evil 5 re-release on PS4, they unfucked it. So they turned off all the shitty fucking colors, so it doesn't look like a green, fucking mess. It has the Lost Nightmares, which is you can do in an hour or 2.
Yeah, I love that.
And it has the Tricell side with Jill and Trent. What was his name?
That is a good co-op game. That Resident Evil 5 is like the best co-op game ever.
It's a great co-op game, and it's a fun single player game. And on PS5 updated, it's so good. It's actually like a much better game, and I highly recommend it. Killer DLS, they've definitely changed the way it looks, because the cutscenes look all green and orange like it used to, and then the regular game is vibrant and colorful.
Oh, how funny.
You don't remember how bad it used to look.
It's like they peeled the
layer. It looks like sepia.
Well, they had to do it partially because that was the time of everything had that like fucking sepia tone, and then the second thing is I think they had to do it because it made it easier for fidelity. The game could look better, but they didn't have to have it be as bright and colorful and render as much when it came to that. You can hide a lot more. That's why Resident Evil 2 had a lot more flashlight moments, whereas Resident Evil 3 didn't, because they figured out how to have more big lit areas where you can see more. That's why it started with Resident Evil 7, which was literally first person.
Keep it lit.
Because first person allows you to control so much more of what the player sees, so you can have that ray tracing and that lighting and that thing that makes it look more real be more controlled. And that's what they fucking did.
So that's what you've been playing?
Oh, dude, I've been hopping around, but I'm really back into Kiwami because Yakuza games, those games are perfect because it's like Death Stranding. You can choose to watch a movie, or you can do a bunch of fun little mini games too to like just knock things off, do a couple things for 2 hours, and then come back. Whereas, you know,
I've seen some like ridiculous Yakuza videos like online.
Oh, dude, there's so much. The game is so much fun and like so clever and funny.
I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was like serious. I never.
No,
it's so goofy.
And
I
that's
love
what
it,
people
too.
never sell about these games is like,
yeah,
they're goofy, fun beat 'em up RPGs where you get to have like a slice of life of living in Japan and like enjoying all these like little details of getting to know this community and these people, and it's fun. It's so much fucking fun, and like I had such a good time when I played Judgment. That's the first game that got me into like really playing these games. And then I enjoyed Yakuza 0, but the fighting in that game got a little jank sometimes. Like there'd be times where I would be trying to fight and I'd just be getting like corn dogged. Nothing I could do, just snuffed out, and I'm like, I can't play a game where a long game like this where the fighting system is broken.
Sure.
So 2 Kiwami is built on the Dragon engine.
That's what all the recent Yakuza games have been at.
But I don't think 3 and 5 are. So I think it's just 2, 6,
Judgment,
and Fist of the North Star.
Oh
Lost
yeah, that's
Paradise.
right. God, I almost grabbed
Fist
that
of
to
the
play
North
today.
Star. Hell yeah.
You know what I
Dude,
grabbed
that game is
originally?
cool.
I spent an hour and a half at home trying to get the game State of Emergency for the PlayStation 2 to work. But my PS2's all fucked up still. Because that game is literally like, you're rioting against the corporation government who's taking control of everything. Check out Rockstar's State of Emergency. I thought maybe it's for the best. It's a little too on the nose. But
yeah.
But you're looking forward to that Paper Mario, or are you disappointed?
Yeah, I've just been a big fan for that. Like Paper Mario 1000 Year Door.
Yeah.
Your favorite game.
Oh yeah.
Like I had the guide. I 100% that game. Well,
nice.
Fuck
really
yeah, dude.
excited for it.
I've never actually played one. Would you recommend one? Because like I like JRPGs, but I've never played.
Dude, just play the 64 one. Is beautiful.
Okay.
That's 1000 Year Door, right?
Original Paper Mario.
Whoa, what happened?
Oh yeah, that's original Paper Mario is just called Paper Mario.
Look, I found an invisible wall. I'm
like Super Mario RPG 2, I think.
Look, I clipped through the building, or the branch.
Yeah, you did. Holy shit.
The building. It's
a
fucking
wall
mountain.
hack.
Paper Mario 64. Okay.
Very interesting. Yeah, I've never given one of those Paper Mario games a chance. I've heard a lot.
Oh,
I mean,
the story is really funny. It's like Earthbound-ish, like quirky humor.
Hell yeah.
You can play as Peach.
Sorry, did you fuck around with those Partners in Time, the Game Boy or the DS?
Oh, I wish, man. I haven't, but I played the Bowser's Inside Story, and that was awesome.
Dude, those were actually really, really fun. Those Mario and Luigi RPGs.
Oh yeah,
those were fun.
I played a fuck ton of those. I forget exactly which ones, but yeah.
Alien. There's like an alien one.
Which one is it? It's Mario and Luigi.
Like a bean
Superstar
alien?
Saga.
Yeah, that was the one I played a fuck ton of. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, I've never fucked with any
Bowser's
spin-off
Inside
Mario.
Story.
Oh god, yeah, Superstar Saga, and then there was the I think the other one, Partners in Time, after that.
Oh yeah.
That was
There's
one
a
of my
bunch of GBA games that should be on Switch.
dude.
Yeah,
everyone.
I got that
Ports
Mega
of that
Man
stuff.
Zero collection, and I've been playing a shit ton of that. Like, holy shit.
Dream Team. It was
Like, I
Mario
just
and
love
Luigi
Mega Man
Dream
games.
Team. That's the one I played the fuck out of.
Oh,
Mario and Luigi Dream Team was such a good game. Mario
That's
and
for
Luigi.
DS?
That's I think it's a 3DS game. Yeah. And then another one is they did one with Mario and Luigi's Inside Story with Bowser. I never got to play that, but I heard that was good too.
Oh, that one is great. You get you can fight against his antibodies. You get into his blood vessels. And
you're like inside of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fucking
Bowser's
Osmosis
inside.
Jones, but with Mario.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey, Alejo,
Thanks for calling, man.
Thank you so much. I want to get to Muff Diva.
Love you guys.
Any parting words?
I don't know. Keep gaming and don't watch so much news, I guess.
Yeah, that's
I like
true.
that. I like that. Gaming's a good escape. Thank you, man.
Yeah, because like he's asking what we've been playing lately, and you're actually playing stuff.
Yeah.
I get home and I'm like still locked into what's going on. And it's only the last 2 days I'm like, this is fucking bad for me.
Oh, dude, that was today. That was why, like...
I knew it pushed over the line. I was like, this is fucking bad for
I had to put my phone down and just after we were able to announce, like, we posted, again, I don't ever want to bring anything up to point any attention to me because it's not me that matters, but we were able to raise $1,700 on the big dogs last night.
Away, Brian.
And then donate that to so many of the different charities that I just have been linking and resources that I've been linking throughout the show, which is fucking incredible. I'm so happy.
It's insane.
That people came out to support it and support the way that they did. Once we did that, I'm like, I need to detach and I need to play video games. And I played Yakuza for 4 hours because I lost track of time, so I was kind of late coming here. But like, because I need to recharge. We have to take a second to step back and formulate the next step. No inputs, only my brain, and then move forward. Because especially I knew we were going to have the PPS tonight. I needed to have a fresh mind.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. Shouts out to all the big dogs again. That was
that really blew me away that you and Frank raised that much money.
I couldn't believe it. It filled my heart with so much pride, and like I've never again, it's not about me, but I've never felt like I've done anything more right, and that to this moment in my life that I've ever been more proud of than to be able to help people who need to have a voice right now.
Yeah.
And to be able, because I can't give that much
and
personally.
I'm seeing it, true, right?
Yeah.
But you guys fucking crowdfunded it.
Yeah, and Audrey
like,
too.
And I'm seeing, and that's another thing. Like, I'm seeing so many people from our community, you know, like friends of mine and people that I follow.
Yeah.
Doing huge numbers.
Yeah.
And raising money. It's really like. It's really inspiring. My hat goes off to you guys.
You just have to. You got to do what you can.
Yeah.
Like I can't sit here and get passionate about it and not find something to do. And like thinking that I don't have a platform because of modesty is not the right way to go right now. When people need help understanding and need somebody who maybe can help explain shit because they're more patient and a little more clear-headed with people, because I understand the differences between cultures a lot better than people realize, because I've had to mitigate these culture differences my entire life.
Yeah.
So it's like feeling like you're white but then knowing that you're not is something that not a lot of people know. And it's not something that I bear because it's not something that I wear as a stress. I don't like to wear any stress. It's like, okay, it is a thing, move forward. Be aware that it could come up, and that's fine. But I'm going to move forward. I'm going to be a person, and I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to try to be the best person I can be. If I see somebody drop a can from their bag of groceries, I'm going to pick up that can and hand it to them. You know, I'm going to if I see somebody struggling to do something, I'm going to try to help them.
Well,
that's what I'm getting at.
that positivity brings everyone as a society up, man.
Yeah.
And if you're coming at anyone with hatred, you're not bringing anything up.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, like I implore everyone to go back and listen to some of the stories that we shared on the Big Dog stream last night, because
you guys definitely like you guys are set up for donations and stuff, and that's how you were raising the money.
Yeah, we set up donations just.
But you were talking to tons of people and
Yeah.
their experiences from your community.
Yeah, I don't want to echo anybody's experience because it's not my experience to share.
The stream's up there.
So
right?
the stream is up there. You guys can check it out. It's on Frank's YouTube and it's on our VOD on twitch.tv/Frank Howley. But hear the story from these people, because a lot of them are people in our community who you would never have thought anybody could say anything negative to or do anything mean towards, and you learn, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So we have one last caller that we want to get to, Muff Diva.
Muff Diva.
What up, Muff Diva?
I gotta apologize to Muff Diva. Last time he called in, my cousin Twilight was very rude to him.
Oh.
I apologize about that, Muff Diva.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear your voice again, man. How are you doing? Are you sick from looking at too much social media like Brian and I?
Well, you know what? I'm pretty young. I'm in my early 20s, so I'm what they call the Doom generation, you know? And there's a lot of people my age and younger who are like, fuck this, and they quit social media and they went vegan and they're like all freaked out. So I'm one of those people.
Okay. How long ago did you quit social media?
It was last year. Honestly, Mega 64 stuff is the only stuff I still watch on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the only podcast I still listen to.
And living your life that way, man, do you feel liberated in a lot of senses?
Yeah, because I got into some bad communities online and saw a lot of stuff that, whether it's true or not, you know, it's too much for any person. So it's been good to get away from that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
it's amazing, like how much ugliness the internet can show you. That so much that it can be life changing. You know, like that we're seeing so much ugliness on the internet right now. It's definitely going to be life changing for some people.
Yep, it has to be.
And growing up on the internet too is especially has been especially bizarre because I've been on the web for as long as I can remember. My earliest memories are like playing bad
you had
on the Cartoon Network website.
Say what again?
I just been on the internet for as long as I can remember, so it's I've seen it all, and it really fucks with you.
You had an unfiltered, unguided internet access in your bedroom, like throughout most of your youth.
I had limited computer time, but yeah, I did, unfortunately. Yeah. But honestly, all the stuff I saw was never as bad as when I was an adult, because by the time I was an adult, I started to feel like guilt because I actually was, participating in the world and carrying out actions every day and realizing like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not just a kid anymore. I'm one of these other fuckers, and I'm participating now.
God damn it, I had to become an adult. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
The world's my responsibility now? I don't want that. I didn't ask for that.
And it's already fucked up beyond repair? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Here,
we're gonna put this in your lap, and by the way, it's impossible to fucking do anything.
It's been fucked.
Well, I don't want to talk about myself anymore though, but
no, I like
want
it.
To say I live in Hollywood, and I'm staying with my dad right now. He's been living in this place for 15 plus years, so it's super rent controlled. This rinky-dink old apartment, but it's right around the block from Hollywood and Highland. You know, that fucking tourist hellscape. It's it's like, I mean, Los Angeles has its places that are cool. I don't like it as much as other places in California, but that is like the Vatican City. It's just this fucking horrible place in the middle of like otherwise decent, country. All kinds of dirty stuff's going on in Hollywood.
Real cool.
There's so much cool shit going on. It's just it's all up there. There's so many fucking people.
But the last couple of days, it's been. I mean, there's always helicopters in this neighborhood, so I'm already.
Are you near like?
I've already been driven fully insane by it, but.
Is that like on the edge of K-Town?
What's that?
Is that on the edge of Koreatown, or how near are you? You said
it's pretty close. Yeah. So I'm at like approximately Hollywood and Highland. The protests the last couple of days have been at Hollywood and Bryan, which is like one short train stop. It's just down the street basically. And like it's funny because my dad's been watching the news and it's all this
24/7
chopper footage and everything's peaceful. Yep, everything's so peaceful. Just gotta emphasize how peaceful it is and everything's chill. And then you watch videos from down on the ground and everyone's like, "This is fucked up. Fuck all these cops. We're getting hit. These motherfuckers are gonna blow all this shit up. Fuck you."
Oh my
awesome.
God.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so like 2-sided, 4-sided, 6-sided. I mean, there's so many multiple fucking angles now all competing on this exploitation of the George Floyd murder, really. Like,
I think that obviously, I mean, everyone's going to say what they think is the right side. I think the obvious right side here, like Bronco said in the podcast, Black Lives Matter. It should go without comment. Everybody knows, whether they admit it or not, or however they want to dress it up, that this country was built on slavery. We all know that, and we should all acknowledge that every day, just like we should acknowledge that all this land was stolen in a really heinous way too. We just have to deal with it, and if we don't acknowledge it and we don't live with it every day and try and find solutions and try and find common connections, with each other, then it's really fucked. And I will say one game I still played despite some of this trying to drop out of stuff. I played Death Stranding, and that game was very profound to me. That game had a very big effect on me.
Yeah,
sure.
It should.
And I think it even fits in line with the dystopian kind of, like, I thought exponentially, what does this look like? Okay, we keep protesting, we keep pushing, and they keep pushing back, and the system keeps its thumb down on everyone. What does that look like in 10 years? Is it children of men? Is it, what the fuck?
With environmental stresses, maybe, but I think it's possible for people to band together, but their priorities need to change.
Right.
And it's trippy. I don't know. There's just there's just so much to consider, and no, I don't think anybody when they're a kid they think, yeah, I can't wait to hurt people when I'm older. I can't wait to participate in a system of violence.
It's learned.
No one's thinking that. Yeah, it's just. But if you live on this planet, the fact is, like, we've been living in a cycle of violence ever since we started, systematically capturing animals or whatever. And so it's just like, it's just getting worse and worse, generation after generation, and nobody's been able to account for it yet. And it's going to keep boiling over until we figure out a better way to live.
True.
Yeah.
Very true, man. I think you put it really well. Thank you again for calling in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about video games some other time. I've been I want to talk about Death Stranding for fucking weeks, and then when you actually did the Death Stranding stream, I was camping, doing a Death Stranding type. I'm trying to prep myself for bike tours. We'll talk about it next time.
Next time.
Hey, dude, Muff Diva, it's great to have you in here to have a competent conversation. That's something that we need to have, a general reform and change on. Like that's why I keep saying it starts with us. Like, we can think that it's not going to happen, but if we start making the changes, people will respond differently. If we are positive, if we're understanding, if we open our hearts and our minds and we listen to other people, and we accept that everybody is a person, not just what we want them to be, not what it looks like they are, and default to a safe assumption, it's not a safe assumption.
No.
Every person is different.
And it's so scary that, Brian, we never talked like this on our stream or any stream ever, because we thought that was common sense, and we thought that it was just it's good, everyone knows that. But now we're seeing, like, oh no, not everyone knows that, and a lot of people are ignorant to it, but also there's just so much complicity in it.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you are well taken care of from our statuses, when you have a job,
I mean, I'll say I'm also white, and if you're the benefactor of all this, it's like, but it happens so indirectly, and it's the way it's routed around and the way it's obscured with propaganda, with our education, with everything. Yeah. It's like it's like a dirty trick, and it's like you find out, like, wait, I'm fucking evil? Oh, shit. Like, I didn't even know.
I don't want to be evil. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to be evil. What the fuck? Privilege? Like, I don't want that. You take it away. It's like, can't get rid of it.
I want everyone to have a level playing field, whatever that means. Like, I would rather have that, because then we could all be nice to each other. That's what I fucking want.
So that starts again with us. We've defined the issue. We've defined what we could do to help make it better. Now we have to do it. We have to be nicer. We have to make that effort. We have to make that change. We have to change ourselves. We have to do inconvenient things. We have to do inconvenient things. Yeah. Not all the time, not stupid things.
In our own lives, you mean.
But we have to do the inconvenient things to learn about other people. We have to be wrong. We have to accept that we don't know, and that's okay to not know, but to educate is the best thing to do.
And hopefully this forces the hand of the oppressors. The more we are willing to sacrifice and educate, it's going to force them,
Yeah. I mean, again, it's this moment of everybody realizing that they've been lied to for the entire time about racism, that we thought it was over in this country, and it's not. There's a moment in fucking King of the Hill where Bobby's learning about Native Americans and how they were brutalized, and he stops his teacher and he goes, "Wait, are you sure white people did this?"
Yeah, I remember that line.
And it's like. And then I had to pause the episode. I was laughing my ass off, because what the best thing about King of the Hill is that it was always an open reflection of the world in the driest sense.
And in Texas, too.
Yeah, again.
Where we already got,
Yeah, good-natured Americans who are just trying their best. To illustrate a great nuance from King of the Hill, one of my favorite things about King of the Hill is that it takes place in Texas. Now, in Texas, barbecue is a huge thing, right?
Yeah. So are propane and propane accessories.
No.
Oh.
In Texas,
You're
they
right.
fucking smoke shit. They slow smoke shit with wood.
Charcoal
They use charcoal. They use smokers. They use like actual fire to cook. And Hank Hill, bless his heart, as a good upstanding American, got offered a great job at a propane company.
Strickland.
Against what everybody else in Texas would do, and sells propane and propane accessories, because he's a simple, kind man who's just afraid of things that he doesn't understand.
He's trying to raise his boy right.
And exactly that.
And Bobby
it's like,
goes to public school and he finds out. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, and then, well, shit. You again, the trickle down. You see him being raised by a man, Cotton, who went to war, who previously used to be a great thing to go and serve for your country in a war. Now we have transparency, and we know that half of these wars aren't justified. So it's like, oh well, that military thing maybe isn't so great, and it obviously didn't reflect well.
I will say there's some, I will say there's some hope with this generation, because for the first time ever, I think we're seeing with this last conflict that almost happened in Syria.
Yeah.
The outcry from the citizenry and the civilians was so great that I think that halted that operation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty ignorant on a lot of that stuff, like I said, but that's kind of from what I do know, that was like a first.
Yeah.
Like, we're going in. Everyone said, no the fuck you're not. We do not want to invade another foreign country, and as far as I know, we didn't. The only thing I can hope with this is like, all right, the people are saying enough's a fucking enough. And not just the black people being trampled on every day in this country, but the entire country is saying enough's a fucking enough.
Yeah.
Like reform from the top. Reorganize justice for the already murdered and reform.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, Muff Diva. Your call has been fucking awesome, just like everybody else's. Do you have any parting words for us?
I sure do, yeah. And I just want to say real quick, I listened to most of the stream and heard everyone's calls, and I was reading the chat, and I just want to say, everyone did a very good job of not getting into fights or causing trouble, so I appreciate that. No matter what opinions were expressed, everyone's being polite about it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dog.
And then the one thing I want to say is, video games can be a good escape, but, you don't always want to escape. It's important to reconnect with the world.
Yeah.
And just remember there's other stuff going on outside of human culture. So just go outside, look at some fucking trees, look at the plants. What are these bugs doing to these plants right now? Oh my god, there's a stray cat. No matter where you live, there's other activity that has nothing to do with humans or politics or hatred. It's just... shit's happening, and you can go appreciate that. Take a breath.
Yep.
Yeah, take a breath. Your brain needs that shit to stay sane.
Very wise words, Muff Diva. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good night.
From the Muff Diva. Good night, Muff.
No, I genuinely, after our stream yesterday, I turned off all the lights, except for like just my lava lamp and like a nice little like
decompress.
Like a low light, and just I sat on my balcony. I poured myself a glass of bourbon, and I just put on headphones, and I just looked downtown, and I just sat there for the whole album, which I have not done in a long time. Just sit and listen to an album and think about what's going on and bear the, not necessarily bear the stress, but like kind of like, let it in for a second, contemplate, collect myself, and think. And I think that's Muff Diva's advice is something that's very, very good. You're gonna laugh, Nitro Dubs. It was the fucking new Lady Gaga album. It is the happiest album you'll ever fucking hear, and it's about post-traumatic stress and her dealing with her fucking, issues of being a fucking, person in this world too. It's fucking good. It's incredible. It's called Chromatica. It's out there. Get it on whatever you have, Spotify,
Chromatica.
Whatever, Apple Music. Same thing with the Tetris Effect. But I just sat out there. It's a 43-minute album.
Yeah. Stay informed, man, but don't burn out on this shit. Like Muff Diver said, like Brian's saying. Because I did, man. I fucking burned out by, like, yesterday. I hit a level where I'm like, I'm in a funk. And it's affecting everyone else around me. Because they're like, what the fuck's wrong, man?
Yeah.
Trish asked me, like, what's going on? You have a bad day? And I'm like,
yeah. Dude.
I've been staring at fucking hyperviolence for 4 fucking days straight. I've had a bad fucking day. I gotta stay vigilant, like my boy's saying. I want to thank Brian also for helping me tread these fun waters of the world burning.
Yeah.
And getting through this, because
anytime.
It's good having you here too to talk with, and talk to the callers. Like Muff said, like I think everyone did a great job of handling this shit in a responsible way on the street. The internet's full of fucking trolls.
It is.
And luckily our community's pretty goddamn fortified to where I don't think we got a lot of outside influence coming in here.
Yes.
Can't say for the rest of the country what outside influences are coming in, but we're pretty tight-shipped here.
Yeah.
I do also want to thank Bryan for, I don't think a lot of the audience knows, you do the thumbnails every week for us. And if you've been enjoying the thumbnails that get posted to the YouTube upload, our archives on the Mega 64 Archives channel, that's all the lovely work of Bryan going out of his way to Photoshop me or him or our guest into.
They're literally one of the funnest things that I get to do each week.
Yeah.
Because like I'll look at them later because I'll forget. They take me like 30 minutes to do, if that. But like I look back 2 weeks ago, the fucking spoiler filled.
Here, let me go.
Death Stranding one, like. Yeah, go ahead.
It's hard to blow it up, but yeah, that one.
No, even I like it because I want people to see that you're not supposed to look at it for very long.
No, because they don't look good.
If you look at them closer, they're shitty, and it's on purpose. It's literally Garrett cut out from whatever picture I use Command W on the fucking Photoshop. I cut him out. I put him over whatever image from the game that I want. Like here's he and BB. Like,
oh yeah, that was a
fucking
good one.
over Sam Reedus, and then this is The Walking Dead. This was Resident Evil Survivor. This is Streets of Rage. Resident Evil this one we didn't have because this was a spin stream. But like, yeah, it's just having fun with all these shit.
It's super fun, and I thank you again.
Thank you. I genuinely love doing them,
and I love that.
Enjoy them.
So much of the show wouldn't be able to run so smooth without Bryan here co-piloting and producing. Answering our Discord calls and everything from the thumbnails on down.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Wednesday. We did cancel the Mega 64 day that was scheduled for tomorrow. Just seemed like the right thing to do with everything. Rocco put out a tweet on the main account there. You can check it. I've retweeted it as well. But it is not a cancellation. We're just postponing. It's coming back further down the line when we can bring it to you. So stay tuned for that. Next on the horizon, there's always streams coming up. I've got a stream for Friday. I think I'm going to rebuild my PS3 FAT. I bought a new laser for the... stopped reading PS2 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bullshit. So, gonna put a new laser in. I think we'll do a little console surgery live on stream, kind of like I did those figure unboxings. Maybe we'll get a top-down camera angle. I'll mic myself up with a mic pack so I can go mobile. Yeah, get out the Get out the Torx. I want to go mobile, man. That's like all
completely
you.
Mobile.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
We could be infecting each other with Corona if we have the mic.
No.
That's. Another interesting point, I can't wait to see statistics on the cities with big protest presence.
Oh.
In 2 weeks, what does the outbreak or lack of an outbreak data look like? But again, who's collecting the data?
Some data is saying that it's losing its potency.
I don't know what's happening.
That the COVID virus is actually getting weaker because it's getting warmer and all
around.
This other shit. Yeah, it's like, again, for a different time, for a different episode, I think.
Well, there's all so much going on right now. You're never going to truly know because of the way the internet has befallen on us. You're never going to truly know what's happening until you're far enough away from it and backed out.
Yeah.
Looking through this close of a lens is very confusing from all sides. But what you can do in this time is donate if you feel necessary. You know, we don't get bits on this stream. We're not set up for that. So save your bits. But if you do feel like doing something, donate locally. Bryan's putting a link in the chat. But this is something that I saw was vetted. A really cool link tree at blacklivesmatter.carrd.co. And it took me to options. What do I want my money to go towards? There's several categories. And in those categories, then it breaks it down to other things. So like relief, the families, the NAACP, there's more resources, protesters, bailing, petitions. There's every link in there, but that's a great central link, and I believe that's been vetted by more than one source that I trust. So, if you want to do something financially or with your time and energy, that's a place I would suggest you to do it. Brian?
Yeah.
You have any final thoughts before we bounce?
Just like I said the whole stream, be kind, be open, stay vigilant, keep an eye out for each other, because that's what it's going to take to get through this. We love each other, and we care for each other. We'll show the world that that's what the next step is going to be.
If you want to,
just do that.
If you want to keep the conversation going, we have Twitters, and we can be reached there. It's up on the screen now. If you didn't get in and you want to have a conversation, man, that's how you can reach us. Stay safe, everyone, and love each other, please. Now more than ever.
Please. Take care of each other.
It's the only thing that's going to keep you vigilant is that positive energy, positive push.
PMA, baby.
See you next time. We sure do love you.
Rosanna.
Okay.
Gonna call it soy juice. You can't do that.
Soy jism. Soy jism. Soy jism.
Rosanna.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah.
Thanks.
This is no reset. Reset. This is no reset. Soy jism. Soy jism. Soy jism. He's a human being and he needs love like everyone else. Soy jism.
Rosanna. Gonna call it soy juice. You can't do that.
Soy jism. He's a human being and he needs love. Soy jism.
Rosanna.
Yeah.
Soy. 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 Soy.
Thanks.
Soy jism.
Yeah. Yeah.